All right, I just restarted the recording here. Stream should be live, but we are in our very first YOLO 3-man squad. So we got 12 teams of 3 out here in the breach for the very first time in SUPERVIVE history. And we all just participated in the trios playtest that happened today. There was a 2-hour window for EU earlier. There's a 2-hour window for NA later. And then there were regular scrims that were going to happen today. And instead of them happening, they decided to do trios scrims because trios are in the lobby options now under customs. And so we're basically just continuing the trios playtest here with a pretty exciting like YOLO trio scrims. And it's a really interesting change. Like I've seen feedback kind of like across the board, like mixed feelings. It is certainly a giant change. So there's going to be, you know, some mixed feelings either way. But what I will say from the 2 hours I got to play right before this is, and this sounds like hella dumb to say, honestly, but I'm going to say it anyways because it's the only thing that makes sense to me, is it feels right in between duos and squads, which makes total sense if you think about it. But like, as far as the pacing, the combat, like how kind of chaotic it was, like how many fights you were experiencing, like all that kind of stuff, it literally felt like somewhere in the middle of duos and squads. And like, if you're a squads player, if you haven't played much duos is like, it's like more like final in that like everything you do, like especially in like fights, like it's more consequential because if you mess up, there's only one other person there to save you. But that being said, you're only, you know, fighting against 2 other people unless there's a third party, and so there's less damage coming at you, so the fight's more readable and it's easier to live, but it's more punishing if you mess up because you basically only have one other person with you to save you. If you both mess up, it's GG, right? And so it's got that kind of element where there's no longer, you know, a bunch of homies around to bail you out. Like you can't just, you know, get to your Aluna across the map if she's the 4th person left. But you know, it opens up like some of the potential of like more like readable fights, like the sort of, there's less overall chaos than squads. But in the end, you know, and there's like one less person like dealing damage, like bursting, like in a team fight and stuff. So that makes it like slightly easier to live, even though like, you know, it's harder to necessarily like come back for a res with less players. It's like easier to live. And the idea behind the whole change is that the fights are more readable, meaning you actually can sort of, you know, contextually tell what's going on around you and react accordingly, rather than like the chaos of squads BR kind of just like having its way with you when, you know, there's like 4 teams fighting and, you know, something happens that's like off screen. Bebo hits you with a car, fourth squad from the top left, and you just get annihilated. You know, so it's like, that's just my very first kind of, I've played on it for 2 hours, and that's the most anyone has played on it, unless they did the EU test with ping, then it's like 4 hours. And so all these guys testing it, my boy Immense right here, let's go baby, coach of row. But look at this, there's like a migration coming in from the south as the circle moves up to mana coils. We got no team name, so I'm just gonna have to go back to the days of colors because I don't think anyone had a chance to do names with the in the lobby. But so Brown, I'm honestly, this is just gonna be like a really chill cast. I'm not gonna like cast it for real. I'm just gonna like kind of hang out because I wasn't planning on doing this today because I thought the playtest was gonna run in. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of chill and hang out and watch some stuff. But it's gonna be like really interesting kind of dynamic. Amazingly, I guess one squad did get knocked out, but honestly surprised to see 11 squads left at 5:30 because that's the other thing that's happening. And this is just the nature of playtesting and maybe the nature of playing your very first trio scrims, but players are like scrapping, like they're getting after it. They're having like a lot of early fights. And we can see right here, Team Green with Lemur Cat microwaved and Dylan running down TNN on the Bishop. TNN hits the guys who are going to try to get away. Last player left on Burgundy. Trying to keep the dream alive for 420 and Arig here. Might be able to do it. Is he running? Oh, TNN with the insane re-entry gets the heal off of the punch on Dylan. Oh, tries to go for the repeat. got like maybe hung up on that creep or something, not quite able to get the second punch through, but TNN almost doing something crazy there. But in the end, green cleans it up. I had a game with Schreichel Jordan earlier, and we did some stuff. Not much though. He was doing some stuff. They're looking pretty strong. Oh, dude, I had a game with Afro where I fucking dashed into the train. It was so tragic, bro. I was like stoked to play with Afro, and then I was last player left. I was looking left, and I dashed right and glided. And he said train, and I did. I registered like a half second late. Just dashed in front of the train. GG. Ooh, nice grab coming through from Light Pink here. He's going to get the stun through on Pine. Can they get the finish? No, Pine dashes out. Somehow lives that. And it looks like this fight's getting turned on Pink's head after what was looking like a really nice engage. Schreichel Jordan lives. And the other two members are under pressure here. Finds that snipe on the other side of the rock. Afro gets the other. So Pink team is out. Purple looking scary here. Blinkstone, double gold. Afro and Pine paired up with Sarah. I think this is like, I don't know if they YOLO shuffled the squads, if they're random teams, or if they like did a draft or something like that, but I think some of these guys are still playing with their squad members. Emotion's going for this deep drain res. Oh, he's committed. He's so committed. Looks like they're going to get it through and they can find the car. Oh no, it's bullet trains, no car. They got time. Early storm. Go deal. Shit. Alright, coming up to orange. More kills happening across the map. Looks like green's on the back foot here. See what I mean by it? Stuff's like a little more final where, you know, a team fight breaks out, you lose one. Now you only have 2 people to peel, right? If you lose one more, that's last player. So it's just like, it's hard to put into words, but the dynamic makes it feel like more punishing. Oh no! Train gets Dan Bridges. Train's on a roll today, I guess. Got me earlier. So just like that, well, the trade didn't help, but more final to my point. And I love how like teams will inevitably like scrap a bit more when scrims are happening. Purple team's going crazy this game though. Afro and Pine, unstoppable duo here. Oh, and they also said in the patch notes that there's going to be a way to literally queue like what am I trying to say? Like you could be a squad of 2, right? And you can queue just as 2, and you can choose to not fill. So you could queue as a squad of 2 into squad of 3s, and you could queue as a solo into squad of 3s. Like you can basically check a no fill option. And so for the most hardcore of us out there, can make it even harder or higher stakes. That may be the next Lemur challenge. He just completed the solo queue to legend. So now next up, maybe with these changes, is going to be actual solo to legend in trios queue. That would be insane. That would be actually insane. I think if anyone could do it, Lemur could do it though. Just keep playing for placement. He's so good at living like this as the last player. Like literally the best in the game probably at this situation. Last player alive on Celeste. I mean on anyone, but he's especially good at it on Celeste. Let's see. He's just gonna live here, I think. I think they're gonna give up on that chase, maybe. No, Clap is still chasing. The rest of his team is caught out here, though. So while they're on that chase, Orange with Armor Soul actually finds kind of their flank, takes out a member. Orange actually looking scary here. Q-Sync, Lucavario, and Fresh Porridge. Armor Shredder on the Krista. Oh, Purple with Teleport Soul, though. That's gonna end Rewinder on Afro. Oh, yeah. These guys are cooking. Where's Lemur at? Lemur doing Lemur things up here. Back in the Cobas.
Stay inside as the safe zone moves.
Magenta is up. Alright, Lemur gets the Cobra Res off.
An enemy oracle
Clap's gonna get the Cobras off. Oh wait, no, Krillo's alive. Thought he died. Oh, Pamu box res Krillo over here. Alright. Oh. Oh, the Pine res. No, Sarah dips off at the last moment. Is getting pressured by Lucavario. Fight's actually looking so good for Orange. Purple was in like a really good spot there. Afro able to Blinkstone somewhere. Blinkstone's back. Shifts to the right. In a rough spot now. No shift cooldown. No rewind. So just like that. Oh no, Purple's still in. Sarah able to make it out after kind of abandoning that res attempt last second. Might have been the play though, as they're living in a bush. The rest of green down here on Orshawn. Brown just scrapping it out in Koba's, dude. Clap is just running everyone down this brawl. I just keep seeing Clap just chasing people on brawl. It's almost they're playing like one at a time, so they can keep going for that town res. Like one's going in, and then now everyone went kind of, but Krillo peeled out south already. Oh, so Clap does get taken out by Lucavario there. This is a crazy battle between Orange and Brown. Pamu looking for the res, not quite going to get it. Krillo, last member left, going to back out here. They might try to push this nighttime in Kobayashi's. Might be a kill angle here. Oh, so with the root, Brown is taken out, and we are down to 4 squads left in our very first trio scrims here. I'm still not sure what's happening.
Storm's on the move. Stay inside its eye.
So guards alerted as it turns to daytime. It looks like they are pissed off at Lucavario here. Orange is going to retreat out to the north, but Purple is right back in it. They lost their gold armor and some of their items, but still looking scary. Or some of their powers, but still looking scary on the items front here. Dylan shipping in with the Abyssal Breaker. Lucavario just peels, though. It looks like they're going to be just fine. Still trading. Actually putting big damage onto Dylan here. Dylan going to be forced back into the storm. Lucavario on that Ascended armor with Armor Shredder. That is a scary Krista to be fighting, no matter who you are. Even if you're a beefy oath. So now Orange kind of split here. Q-Sync is going to relink with everyone on the train. Down to our 4 squads, kind of just, you know, positioning as we would expect here. Purple going for the recall, actually going to find a better angle, perhaps south of green if they don't get intel on them. Orange Soul Stealer on the ground. It's going to be interesting. These, I think the thing I'm most curious about are these endgame circles and how kind of these final fights are going to go. Because we see 4 squads left still. But only 12 players, right? Because it's one down the team. So it's like, even though there's 4 squads left, it's like there's the same amount of players as if there's 3 squads left, right? So it's just like it's an interesting dynamic where, you know, the same amount of players are there, but it's like split into another, you know, squad that's trying to do stuff. And you also don't have as many like, you know, sort of like angles you can hold or places you can protect with only 3 players, right? Actually, another cheeky recall here coming through from Purple, getting on the north side of green and Cobus here. A lot of just posturing at the moment, actually. So Lunar Root coming through on 3D. Fun looking to heal up a little bit. Lucavario just doing so much damage on the Krista, like fully evolved with that Armor Shredder, is just pumping. And we see it here. Once you're caught in that R&B, they shift forward. There's just so much damage that's coming through. Has to be careful. They're going to get actually pinched here between green. What was looking for such a good fight for Orange is actually going to get third-partied from both sides. So Fresh Porridge looks like is going to be able to get out to the north, but Lucavario really wants to live here. Armor Shredder, Fate Rewinder, Evolved Red Armor. You know, you really got to try to live here, keep those powers. That is like your best shot at closing this out. And with who even got... Okay, so the team that Orange was pushing got eliminated there. Green is fully recovered at this point. They're back on 2 golds. Pretty evolved stuff. I was wondering if Purple was going to try to do something crazy with TP Soul, but I don't know what you could really do for where we're at right now. So they're just like fighting this out. Orange actually doing a really good job recovering. They've been pinched. That's twice now they've been pinched. And they're just doing a great job, like, peeling out and getting back to full. I think the Aluna, in the kind of trios look, the Aluna might have a lot of value here. They're, again, just right in the middle, kind of pinched. They do have the guards of Kobas, but not too much longer till endgame. Now Q-Sync, final player left.
Hi.
Oh, how?
Hello! Whoever followed me, I do not have my stream thing pulled up, but I love you. Yeah, this is like, Green just got all the freaking loot from Orange. Look at Green. Green's stacked now. Big GA, Blinkstone, Armor Shredder, good evolves. They got, Lemur got the armor. Wait, what just happened to Pine? I missed it. So Q-Sync has Crown. It's in 15 seconds, though. People can shoot him, and he's got a minute. He's got a minute 10 on the Crown here. It's good. It's about to be scary for Q-Sync in 1 second. But these guys are maybe just going to murk each other here. Wait, why did I think
Enemy Oracle online.
endgame guards went away? Or it was like nighttime? Oh, it hits. Is it 15 seconds here? So Purple's all the way back off the RS. Q-Sync still 30 seconds. This is like, this is such a weird final circle. Just right in the middle of Kobayashi's. Everyone literally just hanging out for our first trios game. Yeah, so I guess, like, I always thought at endgame the guards went away, but I guess I'm wrong about that, or it has to go all the way to the end of this bar. I thought we were gonna get I don't know if it's always been like that or if that's changed. For some reason, I swear the guards go away at the end of the endgame timer, but I might be tripping. If that's not the case, yeah, they're basically got to wait till this next circle goes in, and it's going to just break out like right here, just mayhem. Actually, Green getting the best position of it, probably. They're kind of guarding the last crown there to the bottom left. What a weird one. I like Tono. Oh, fine, no. Yo. Poor Afro, bro. That's his second teammate that Train did, because I did it earlier to him. GG. Oh, Porridge. Just instant with the huge punch, draws the guard fire, but does not even care. Just going for the team kill and gets it because it looked like someone on purple fired back, so the guards fired back at them. And in the end, Orange basically ints purple into the guards there. They lose one member of their own, but they are trying to recover to the north. Oh, Cat goes through the portal on the Saros, cuts off the escape of Lucario, but he still just one shot ends up, does get taken out there. Q-Sync, final member left for Orange up here. They Saros portal through. Oh, Train almost gets another one. Q-Sync trying to make the miracle happen with this crown in the 1v3. At least it's not 1v4, am I right? Can't do it in the end. So Q-Sync gets taken out. Cat, Microwave, Dylan, and Lemur come away with our first trio scrim squad victory of SUPERVIVE history, I might add. That's pretty big. GG. GG. I gotta do... Sorry, I was not ready to do this today here. I'm just gonna get make sure my stream is good real quick. Gonna get my boy Kai in here. Yo, the homies in chat. Juiced flow immense. Love you guys. Yo, game over. What's up, homie? Dude, first trio scrims. What'd you think about it? Let's see. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I gotta get Kai in here. Fuck. Guess I could just call him.
Hi. Oh, how?
Yo, welcome.
Wow.
Whoever that was. Let's see. I should be able to pull up my big support from Emotions. Love you, homie. Thanks for joining up. I should be able to. There's a way for me to see my like creator. There we go. I haven't Twitch streamed in a hot minute. Oh, that was Immense and Juice that followed me. Love you guys. My boys. All right. Sorry, I'm like alt tab doing stuff on Discord too. I'm trying to get this dude Kai. I've been talking about casting with him, trying to get him in here real quick. SUPERVIVE. All right, I will be right back. I'm gonna grab water and actually like put my desk up and actually get ready to cast here.
Another mission. Good.
You are the drop leader.
슈퍼바이브 안녕 여러분 안녕 슈퍼바이브
Every opening a door.
An enemy oracle is scanning.
All right, I'm back. We are back. It's live. It's happening. I gotta make sure this is okay. All right, hitting game 2 of our very first trio scrims here, and I'm like so like turned around here, guys, because I was not ready to stream or record or do anything. I was just playtesting this right before, and I thought scrims were maybe not going to happen, but they are happening, and it's an even better version. And I also just set up my Discord screen so that I think my new friend Kai, who is a shoutcaster with some experience with some other games, is looking to get into some SUPERVIVE shoutcasting, and I believe he is going to join me here in a minute as soon as he is able. So I just got the Discord room kind of set up for him to join and spectate with me. But if he joins up, we'll just keep it a super chill cast because it's like going to be basically his first time shoutcasting SUPERVIVE anyways. And so we're just going to kind of hang out and talk about stuff probably. So Green off to a pretty nice start here, getting multiple kills against Orange. Orange on the run now. Mistake level 3 Firefox with barely anything, just gold armor and a dream, trying to make his way away here. And I believe Resurgence is toggled off in the scrims option. So level 7 Myth pushing this res. It's going to be a really tough fight here for Mistake if he can pull it off. But I was going to say, if he can dodge the pin, he might be able to do it, but game over actually comes through huge, getting that R&B pin on the pillar, so able to finish off the Firefox in pretty quick succession there. So that's 2 squads out already, down to 10 squads, and we're playing with 12 squads, guys. So you would think it would be 13 because that's 39 players, but it looks like the limit, like the squads limit to queue is 12 right now. So I would expect in the actual release of trios, and that's how it was playing in the playtesting too, was there was 12 teams per lobby. Yeah, so 12 teams of players of 3 is 36 players total. So we're down basically a full squad from the normal 40 we're used to. So we're starting the game with 36 players instead of 40 players. However, we have 2 more squads in it. So it's kind of like, even though there's less players, there's like more space being taken up from different teams being placed different places, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it should feel fairly similar as far as like the initial stages and the dropping and whatnot. I'm gonna turn my volume up just a little bit here. Sorry, I've been like, I think my audio levels are pretty good here.
Celestial sphere.
Luca Vario kind of out all on their own, looking for the 1v3 on the brawl. I guess like that's the other cool thing about trios is if you do find yourself isolated against an enemy squad, it is certainly more realistic to pull off the 1v3 than it is the 1v4. And along with like kind of the playmaking change they're making with like, you know, still having the dash reset, still having the heal, like there's a lot of things that potentially are going to give you the ability to go off in more of like a 1v3 scenario. Not quite like that. Lucario trying to get it done, but Green defending well. Green having our first squad knock onto that Felix earlier. That was game over. Getting that pin. Wrong Green. Sorry, guys. Coming back to this fight. It's still hot. Another team trying to get it in. But... Oh, I think they're shuffling the teams. I think there's a random shuffle that's happening in between games. So I think these are different squads than we saw in the first matchup. Arig trying to lock in that Primal Slam. Cannot find the angle there as Emotions in game over just continue this relentless amount of poke. But Purple was able to lock a res in. So they're back up to 3 players. Even though game over and Emotions kind of having level armor advantage here. This Purple team not afraid. Arig still looking for the engage here, looking for the grab or the slam. He's actually just going to go for these creeps right away, try to catch up his team. Gets that level 8. They lock in the big one. So I think off the back of that, these two members of Green are going to be bailing out. Coming down here, Red's like right in the middle of Green and Purple kind of looking to pinch them. I had a game with Thank You earlier too. He was really cool. He almost did some crazy stuff. We got second. He almost did some crazy stuff to win it, but he is pretty cracked on the Bevo. Dude, this Green team is looking strong this game. Lemur, Dylan, and Clap with full golds. Money Tree Triax on Dylan. Lemur's got a Biz Specialist. This is going to be a scary squad this game. Everyone converging in the bottom left of the circle here. It just auto pulled me away from that as Pomu goes down. This is like, this is what Pine was doing in the game I had with him, dude. He's never afraid to fight. Plays the boombox perfectly there. Just wastes 5 seconds of everyone's time trying to find the dash angle out. Not quite going to get it. In the end, Star Flash does finish him down. Answer back with some emotes of their own. Afro's still alive though, so way up here is going to be able to get that team res off, and it looks like is going to anywhere but here as soon as he does it. Or as soon as he gets pushed. Boom. Okay, he's actually not going to do it. We're just kind of baiting it. Madness down here at the damage soul. Expect a lot of teams fighting over this. We can see... I feel like with the amount of fighting that's happening, we're seeing like a little more armor evolves than normal early on. So a lot of like early action. At least like kind of poking.
Enemies have captured a soul.
Well, I have basically zero good like analysis reads for you guys right now. I have like no idea what's happening. It's just 3 instead of 4. So game over is going to get eventually taken out there from the likes of Dark Green, and they almost had Dark Green on the other end of the map, but Afro was able to get that res. Bring everyone back. Right as I say that, it's just instantly down to Schreikel again as they get kind of teamed by one on each side of the wall, and Pine going to do their very best, is able to dodge that hook, but it's the same guys that were looking for him earlier, I think. Big Bird Bomb, but oh, and the dash on the slam actually gets out, snipes the heal. Oh, but no, Saros' portal's back, dude. I legit do not think he meant to hit that portal. He was just dashing that way. But Pine almost doing something crazy. Not quite. It still looked cool.
Warning. Storm closing.
Yeah, this damage shoal, Lemur, Dylan, Clap team is looking scary, guys. What do you think? So basically, like the whole kind of like a big point of the changes is that fights are more readable, right? So as we're watching this, we should expect to see stuff like that's like, even from an observer perspective, like, you know, you can kind of there's slightly less chaos, there's slightly less damage coming out from each team. Thus, there's slightly less amount of things to react to. And there's sort of slightly less chaos on the battlefield. And that should, in turn, make the fight more readable, which basically means you can actually sort of see what's happening and have the, you know, the reaction time, the ability to react to what's happening based on what you see and, like, be able to, you know, outplay off of that. And that can still be, like, very quickly, but at least some semblance of, like, better readability in fights where, because there's a little less chaos, a little less, you know, mayhem coming out from that extra player, it should help you, you know, basically navigate fights more tactically, and be able to, you know, play around space, play around powers, play around position a little better, a little differently than in squads, where you have a little more of, like, the kind of chaos. It's really hard to even put into words, but I think you get what I'm trying to say here. Unfortunate for Porridge there. Really just nowhere to go. And I've been, like, it's interesting to watch the mini map, because you kind of get to see, have a better idea of how teams are moving as three, and, like, in general they're basically moving the same, but it's like it's overall less space per team that each team is taking up, right? And it seems like in general teams are sticking together a little bit more, because you don't have that extra option to get the hell out when you need to, right? Henrik here, love you, homie, welcome. Oh, I never even changed my stream title. I should change it to trios. How do I do that? I'll do that after this game.
Storm tightening.
All right, pink on purple here. Star Flash down instantly as we pan in. My boy Immense pumping on the Krista. We saw Fresh Porridge kind of finding their way out into the abyss. They are right back in the action here as Krillo twists Fresh Porridge. That's actually a pretty scary team too. But Q-Sync, Lucavario, and 420 with Shrapnel Soul. Also something to be potentially scared of. But they are going to get pinched as Red comes in over the top. Thank you, an absolute monster on this Bebo. Looking to cause some chaos. And, like, that's what's so interesting about this is, like, certain hunters may be more affected by the change to trios than other hunters. And I think Bebo is a great example, right? Where, like, Bebo is an agent of the chaos. He's really good at leaning into the chaos of the BR and playing it well and outplaying around it. And I think Bebo is going to be harder to pull off in trios the same way he's harder to pull off in duos, because you don't have as much of that chaos happening. Oh, nice grab by Arig. Not going to let 420 get away. So Brown gets taken out there at 6th. Nice grab coming through. Taking a look at these guys' gear. Pretty good. Pretty stacked on the item evolutions. Gold armor on Arig with glider jet. Yeah, so whatever color this is, like, what is that? Light purple? What would you even call that? Like, dull purple? I don't have a word for that one. We'll call it blue purple. Purple blue. But, like, these, it's interesting. These final circles, like the final fights, they're definitely, like, a little more kind of, like, calculated. Like, people aren't quite just shipping it in as much, and I think it's because something like that can happen, because we just saw these guys, it was looking good for them, they're looking for this engage, all of a sudden one messes up here, these two guys get third partied, and it's just instantly over, right? So that's exactly what I'm talking about, with, like, things being more punishable, is, like, it can, just like in duos, it's even worse, where if you are, you know, doing something crazy and hoping your teammate's going to stay alive while you do it, and your teammate goes down, it's just GG. And that's basically exactly what happened to them there. And so, GG indeed. But some pretty big teams, like, posting up in here. If we look at the names, Krillo, Fresh Porridge, Twist versus Clap, Dylan, Lemur here. These guys with the damage soul, but Boombox goes down for the side of purple. Probably looking to push off of this. Jin clone is in. Twist looking for the angle. Ooh, scale out behind. Maybe look to push off of this. They're trading really well, actually. Purple is. Clap decides to just ship it in, try to cause some chaos in the back line of purple. Able to do so while the rest of Teal is alive. Lemur gets the pick onto Krillo. Now in the 2v3 twist, trying to trade back, make it a 2v2, but cannot quite finish off the BV Oath. So Dylan lives. Now numbers advantage to Teal here. Lemur looking to go over the top of the Abyss. Absolutely pumping on Fresh Porridge. Clap follows. They are going to lock it in. So a really nice fight there by Teal. Kind of the team I'm almost expecting to win based off Damage Soul and their start and these players' names. But we'll have to see what happens here because we got Red still in it, Berserker, Monster, and Thank You. And we also got Ari, Bun, and Cat Microwave with Shrapnel Soul of their own. And these guys are actually looking pretty scary too. Probably Red being the most behind here. Yo, Magical, my boy. Hello, what's up, dude? Thank you for the follow, man. Hopefully you can live a little vicariously through me. If you, I'm live in the freaking Discord if you want to join up at any point, bro. We got the caster goat in the chat. And Magical, I actually was that guy Kai we talked to. I think he might join up as well at some point. I told him I was gonna get out here and try to capture this action. All right, down to our final three here. A lot of posturing. Ari looking for the fadeaway grab. Doesn't quite get it to go through there. So something I have noticed is these final circles are like definitely a bit more calculated. Like everyone's not quite sure. And I think that's probably because it's so new too. Like players are still, oh, Clap gets grabbed all the way back to purple, is able to ult immune the grab, but it's not going to be enough in the end. Dylan trying to go in with the tree press and actually gets it with a super fast res. So a heads up play by Dylan, bringing Clap right back in it after what was looking like going to be a tricky situation for Teal. Still Teal's game to win if we look at Damage Soul with kind of the items and stuff. I mean, I'd say actually... Oh, Ari though, grab after grab on this Kingpin. I think that's like the 4th or 5th one we've seen this game. So they trade that one on Berserker. They want to look for this knock, so the same thing doesn't happen. They got the Teal. Thank You going all the way through with the cart res, actually. Kind of insane. Gets Berserker back up off the back of that Tonk Tonk. Actually a really kind of nice use of the Tonk Tonk there. Uses it to get the Wisp. And off the back of that, Team 6, Team 6 Teal finds the flank against our Team 10 here. So Cat Microwave caught out, but Bun and Ari still in it. They don't have a ton to play for. They can look for a crown buy, but they probably don't have enough gold or they would have done that already. There's a crown down here, but no, and a beacon right next to it. That's pretty much their only kind of options for the res at this point. And I think Teal knows this, so they're not letting the pressure. Dude, I gotta change. I feel like my notification sound are so loud. Whatever that was just happened. Oh, Magical with the Prime. I love you, brother. Appreciate it, man. That means a lot. It's cool getting someone's Prime. Only one a month. Nah, I appreciate you, man. I don't have my chat up right now, so I can't actually see chat. I'll pull it up after this game. Ari's still in it, actually. Does make his way all the way down to that crown. So grab the crown we were talking about. 1:50 left. Coming back up. Probably just trying to kind of gain some intel. Look for a grab combo to lock in the crown. But Red has kind of spotted him out here, and it looks like they're going to maybe chase. Ari looking to play over Abyss. Go for that really reliable grab dunk combo to proc the crown. Looks like Red not going to fall for it, though. Playing the cross-country shift intelligently, like finding that angle. Kind of, you know, getting there ahead of the party. It's interesting, like with just 3 players, like it's almost like Arig is like not as afraid to even just like be right on the edge of the fight, right? Because he is maybe even like more confident than normal that he can kind of escape this, especially with these fans nearby. And he has the 2-way. I guess he does have a lot of ways out. Maybe it's because of his powers why he's playing so up. But he's really gonna, he really wants to get this kill through during this team fight that's about to break out here. Or, I mean, honestly, he might end up having enough time if these guys don't hurry. 45 seconds left. These, the end game circles are definitely going slower. Like, there's no doubt that the end game has slowed down a bit. And I don't know if that's just like, you know, players still figuring it out, which they are. But we've seen like a lot more kind of patience, a lot more kind of respect for the other teams when there's just a couple teams left. The end circle last game went, it was because it was in Kobayashi's, but it actually went forever. So looks like Teal is looking to fight it out here. Ari going to be nearby with that crown. Timer probably timing down. Yeah, we see him top left, 10 seconds. These other teams got to be knowing that timer is about to proc. They want to look for this fight soon or be afraid of the third party. Clap looks for the entry. Followed by a return Abyssal Breaker, so they're not going to be able to actually follow up on that. They're actually pumping kind of big damage. Looks like they're maybe going to push red into the arms of purple, but no. Red finds actually a little nook up here. Very, like, kind of calculated, like, much kind of slower paced endgame than we see in squads, I think. I think a big part of it is definitely, like, you know, teams kind of still figuring out, like, how to even play this mode. Because it definitely feels like, yeah, it's just one less player, so you could say it's not that different, but it feels quite a bit different when you're actually in it. The thing I kept messing up is, like, overcommitting, you know, like, not realizing that my team was overcommitting with me and we didn't have a fourth player to res. Like, I had a lot of games that we just ended in, like, you know, 10th, 9th, 8th, because kind of just overplayed it. But this is, like, very, it's always, like, with cross-country, too, it's a different endgame for sure. A little more calculated, like, playing the Storm Shift. So we can see everyone kind of positioning to make this Northern rotate based off this next circle. Red having the best position of it because they get to now kind of hold this choke. Purple and Teal going to actually be in a real crap spot because they're going to have to kind of fight it out on their way through this choke here. Unless these guys take this two-way. Right behind, and they are, and they're going to get instantly collapsed on by Rez. Really nice setup here by Red. Reads it perfectly, gets almost an instant squad wipe. So that's the kind of finality of trios, right? Where you can kill 3 players super fast. The 4th one might have got out there, but with just 3 left, they're instantly down. Teal looking to answer back and do the exact same thing to them. Red actually fighting this so well, though. You cannot count out thank you on this Bebo. And it's going for the bomb res. Dylan pushes to get it off. Boombox is down. So trying to play around the invulnerability. We see Monsta did get a crown. So if they can find a couple picks, nice scale stun. Thank you. Does get the kill through, but it's not on the crown. So timer not down. Teal still just going for these reses. Clap halfway, but Dylan gets pushed off. Actually, huge moves between Thank You and Monsta. Monsta does get taken out. Dylan still at 10%. And in the end, Teal pulls out the win. But Red fighting that really well. Off of the TP from Purple, and then almost, you know, able to pull that win off against Teal. You know, probably one of the scariest squads out here when you look at Damage Soul, where their items were at, and names. But GG Teal, well played on that, like, opportunistic third party. And, like, I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see, but maybe even more so than squads. Like, is the kind of patience in the final 3 going to pay off more? Because that's something we see a lot where whichever team, when there's 3 teams left in squads, whichever team can kind of play more strategically with more patience and be the third partier ends up coming away with a lot of wins because they kind of find, you know, the advantages. And it's probably going to be the same, if not, like, even more true in trios. Like, that same idea. We see the switching of teams happening here. I think they're doing, like, a random thing in... Dude, how do I pull up my Twitch chat, dude? I'm so bad at... There should be a way for me to pull up my Twitch chat in... There we go, my chat. There we go, there we go. Oh, Kai's in here. Jang's in here. What's up, homies? Can you guys hear me? Oh, I'm muted. Wait. Hello?
Hello, hello.
Hello!
How are we doing?
What's good, homie?
Setting here. What's good? That was an exciting game.
Yeah, dude. Like the games have been pretty hype. The end circles have been like much more like kind of slow and calculated. Like the first game end circle was like in Kobayashi, so it was even worse. But really interesting to see the kind of shift. I think like a lot of it's people just trying to figure shit out still. Um, but let me make sure your volume's good. I'm probably gonna have to crank you a little bit here.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and speak here a little bit.
Hello,
Hello.
hello,
Testing
hello.
1 2 3.
That seems pretty good, I think.
Testing 1 2 3.
I don't know. Anyone in chat can tell me if that sounds good? It seems good. We'll just go with that.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll go with it.
We'll go with it.
Yeah.
Because I have magical usually maxed out, so I just maxed you out, and we'll see if that works with the setup I have.
You know, I'll just say something and I'll listen to myself here for a second. Testing 1 2 3.
And here's me, my volume testing.
Yeah, we sound pretty good. We're more or less around the same volume.
Sweet. What's good? So,
All right.
everyone, let me introduce you to Kai. Do you just go by Kai? Is there anything else you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just Kai Ames. Kai Ames is the full Twitch name.
You are the
So
top
Kai hit me up. You first met Rin, right?
Yes,
So
that is correct.
introduce us, or first of all, how'd you find out about SUPERVIVE? When did you start playing, and then how'd you kind of like come across Rin and decide to get into Shoutcasting?
So I came across SUPERVIVE, about what, maybe a year and a half ago. I did some very light alpha testing. I was like, oh, this is a cool concept. This is a cool game. I didn't get super into it, truth be told. I just played it here and there, and I was like, oh, I'm going to keep my eye on this and, keep a finger on the pulse and see where this goes. Then they do the kind of like a Steam testing thing, not our current stage, but the state before that. And that's when I really started to fall in love with the game. I've been casting on and off for years now. And it just so happens that I queued with Reen a couple of times, and one of those times that I did, he was last alive, and I was like, hey man, do you care if I cast you while you're last alive? And he was like, yeah, sure, go for it. I could use the motivations, basically, more or less what he said to me. And I did, and he was like, yo, what the fuck, dude, you're really good.
Kinda good.
Would you be interested in casting this, that? And I was like, yeah, man. And he's like, I'm gonna put you in contact, and well, here we are. As they say, the rest is history. And this one looks like we're just about to get underway here as the drops are coming through. A couple of teams going for chaos steps here, looking for some early aggression.
Let's go, baby. Yeah, we got at least 3 down over here in chaos steps, and I'm gonna try with Kai here. Actually, I don't know if I'm in the mood for it, but maybe next time. I'll do it a little bit. I was gonna say, I want to try to work on my play-by-play a little bit, because that's definitely my weakest kind of point. And like when I cast with Magical, he's really good at play-by-play, but he's also really good at kind of, doing the color fill. And I feel like sometimes if I was a little better at play-by-play, I could like set him up better. Like I could lead, I could start the play-by-play like mid-thought and then lead it, better into him picking it up. And kind of the same way he does it for color.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait. So Twist getting shot by guards there. Then he gets the heal from killing someone else who gets shot by guards, but ends up getting taken out anyways.
Fun little exchange, little third party from the town guard there. We love to see it. Kobayashi memes from the start here. I think we've already lost 2 teams, no? Yeah, looks like it.
Just gonna get murdered again.
Yeah, Usync's just gonna go absolutely down. Wow. Finished off too. And absolutely no mercy coming
No
out from the
mercy
town guard.
from the
Showing off why they shouldn't be messed with. Why that level 15 next to their name is not just for show. Impeccable mechanics they hardly ever miss.
Precisely. And if you haven't seen it, there is a classic murdering of the town guards in Lemur's latest video, the solo queue 0 to hero journey. And there's such a good clip of when the XP bug was happening with the town guards, and Lemur goes to defend it. He does it once and realizes it's there, and then he goes to defend it as a Firefox, and it's just great.
We're going to see Dan looking to pressure here, doing some decent damage, losing immense backing up here as Quillo decides to get involved. Aiden trying to find something with that strike bomb, not going to land just yet. Quillo setting up with that B-bomb, trying to find a little bit of a way in, looking for some wiggle room. Illusion taking that dash forward here, doing some chip damage, but nothing doing yet. No one is really committing. A lot of poking going on here. Purple or pink here with the definite numbers advantage in terms of levels, but looking like they don't want to commit that poke from Aiden and Dan here. Very, very scary on the Void as they just kind of reposition him back up here as we see Orange team looking like they might want a piece of this after they finish up that farm. But some more commit coming out of here from Lavender, Purple, whatever you want to call them. Illusion being dropped very low here. He's going to have to make his exit out of the fight. But we see Lucavario and friends coming in to join the fray. Orange team taking up some space here, pushing in forward. Lucavario zoning out from the top. Quillo and Immense backing up here. You could say this is an immense push. Starflash is just taking more and more space, looking for the spike. We'll be able to find it. Quillo will be going down. And that might be all she wrote for now as our teams reset here. Really good engage coming out of Orange.
Let's go. Dude, you're solid, bro. I'm loving it. You actually
Thank you.
Yeah, you actually got the play-by-play down. Let's go. That, for everyone out there, that is not as easy as it sounds. I just got to say it. It is not as easy as it sounds to do play-by-play. Like what this, it's just like the amount of stuff happening on your screen, and especially if you're trying to fucking if you're trying to spectate at the same time. I guess this is my stream, my video. I try to not. But yeah, it's just like there's a lot going on, a lot to pay attention to, and it is not easy to like capture all that in a sequence.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's fun as we see Anikop and Ring. Unfortunately, the final bell gonna ring for them as they are announced to be our next team to depart here, bringing us down to 9 teams standing. Aiden, Bridge, and Shrooms here still involved, doing some decent damage. We'll be able to find Starflash on a kill here. Lucavario and Dan gonna be involved, but Lucavario gonna show why not to be played, should not be messed with as he commits that salvo as well. Only a little bit of damage done, but he wants more as he goes in. Aiden gonna be dropped very, very low here, followed up by Cusick on the jewel. Decent damage gonna be coming out here. Aiden gonna get dropped as well. Dan being brought back, but it won't be enough as Shroom will be falling as well. Lucavario wants more. Cusick following up with the shift. Decent damage will be done. Dan Bridge is trying to get out, but it won't be enough. The absolute aggression coming out from his duo, just absolutely wiping the floor with Lavender here. Once more, Orange team really showing us why they're the favorites in this lobby so far. Let's see if anyone can upset them as Fresh Porridge, Kate, and Miles seem to have designs of their own as this Deathbox res is coming through. Can they get anything going here? Lucavario wants more, but Fresh Porridge not going to let him have it. But his friends not nearby. Looks like they want out.
Yeah, and we saw, like, off the back of that was Gray continuing this fight from early on. They've been scrapping with Orange that whole time. They eventually kind of overstay their welcome. Orange working the level kind of item advantage, do whittle them down into 2v3, get the full squad wipe in the end. And, like, Orange playing super aggressively here. One down on red, continuing to kind of look. Miles tries to get off the nuke, but I don't know if that was the play. Trying to nuke the beacon, but I don't know kind of if that's the angle.
Could be a little bit of an overextend from Orange here. People dropping dangerously low. Starflash might go down yet again here. He does. Miles cleans that up. Lucavario going for heals. And Q-Sync just nowhere to be found, deciding to make the great escape. Good fight coming out from Miles there.
I was going to say, Red fought that really well there. Burgundy, I guess. There's a Red and there's a Burgundy.
Burgundy, yeah.
They took away, usually there's team names, so you have like an acronym, but we're back to colors. This is like OG casting SUPERVIVE. Obscure colors.
Definitely spaced well there, and I think it kind of lulls Orange into a false sense of security, making like we can take this space and make something happen here. And unfortunately, what got made to happen was on them. But they're not out of this yet. It's a very strong team, and I fully expect them to see them revive and back in this one very soon, as 420 is looking for more. That classic aggression coming out of his Jin here. But Blaz Berserker coming back with a huge Abyssal Breaker. Decent stun will be done here, but is it enough? Can Arig and Palmu find a way in on that space of Blaz? Blaz still isolated, but Lemur being dropped dangerously low. Gonna have to go for the steal, a heal, but a huge slam and a slug wave coming out of Arig leaves 420 in a very, very bad place. They're all split up. Lemur running for his life. Palmu trying to do what he can to get that kill, but he won't be able to convert it as the wall is able to push him back here. Blaz and Dylan duking it out, trading hammer for hammer as that Guardian goes down, secured by light purple, lavender, pink, whatever you want to call it. Depends on how colorblind you are, as they continue to push here, trying to find some more aggression.
Lavender's good.
Lavender is good. It's a good smell too, guys. Invest in the scent. 420 wants more aggression here, but he can't find it just yet. He's looking for that spike over the abyss, but unable to do so. Blaz wants more. 420 being dropped dangerously low. Will these barrels be the ones to do it? It won't, as he tries to find a way out, healing on that camp. Palmu looking for more, but it looks like that's it. We're going to have a little reset. 420 is classic clown emote coming out. And we walk away. We shake hands. We're friends, and we decide we're going to do it again later as we see some more aggression. Take it over here. Zik.
Oh, yeah, up into the Mage Bog battle to the north right. Pine looking to pump on the strike, throws out the bird, not quite going to connect. RTK looking to trade back. Damage onto Afro, has to peel out himself. Microwaved, healing in the back. Afro ships it in, doesn't have the reset on the ult, gets stunned into the wall, taken out very quickly there. RTK goes back in, but actually gets reversed. Huge damage coming out from Cat and Strikel Jordan with that armor shredder. Not going to be enough in the end as Aluna does pick up RTK and the Jhin, taking him right into the arms of Microwave for the kill here. And they are going to get that squad wipe as multiple squads come in here, Kai.
Yeah, Lavender, Pink, and Light Red here. Lemur's squad looking to aggress here onto Auric and Blaz. Not really worried about their rear, but as we see Team Orange once again showing why they shouldn't be counted out. But apparently we can count Q-Sync out as he gets absolutely deleted by Pamu and friends. Blaz with that last hit. Now going to reposition Luca Vario, deciding that he wants his way out. Going to recall into back to his camp here as they make the great escape. Starflash going to be looking his way out, but RTK and friends going to looking for the engage here. Auric not going to land that slam. Blaz Berserker just spacing here. Heal coming out for the team as we just kind of reset 420 looking for that dagger, but he's not going to be able to find it. Everyone just kind of looking for that one engage that gives him the edge, that lead in this team fight, but no one able to find it. No one able to land that pivotal cooldown as Blaz getting a little bit caught out here. A little bit of chip, but nothing doing as he just is continue to walk. He continues to walk out. Auric not finding the slam.
A little bit of that, like
they want this.
The threes pacing, bro. It's so different. Like it's just like you were saying. You either commit and you find the fight, or you have to back it out. Because if you like halfway commit, you don't have that fourth player to escape and get the res. A nice grab from Auric there to pull Pamu back out of the arms of Brown.
Yeah.
And Lavender does look to peel out here, but I just wanted to call out, like kind of off your point that these, the engages, they almost have to be more final, and you don't have as much breathing room if you're the one engaging. You can't mess it up because you don't have that fourth player to kind of peel and get everyone back, and it has more of the finality of duos.
Most definitely.
Than kind of what we're used to.
We see Q-Sync get blown up there, and Luca Vario and Starflash immediately electing to get out of the fight, because being down a man in a 3v3 situation is, I feel, far more detrimental than being down in a 4v3.
Yeah.
So
like that's a great.
You definitely have to play much safer.
If you just think about percentages for a second, it's like a 2v3 math-wise is harder than a 3v4 math-wise.
Absolutely. Starflash last alive here. Bun and RTK want this. 420 wants in on this as well, as we see a little bit of a three-way. 420 going to be able to get himself out of here, not wanting to be involved in some more regrouping with his team as Q-Sync, Starflash, and Luca Vario make their great exit. Flint going to get picked up off on the side here by 420 and Dylan, as Auric, Blaz, and Pamu want to aggress in here onto Pink, but so do Dylan and friends. They want it. They're trying to pinch in, but they can't. That grab won't come through. A timely shield from Dylan on the Oath to keep that hook from coming in on Auric, as we see RTK and Bun off to the left side here. Gonna want to reset. RTK trying to find a way in that sneak, but we see Spade and Monster coming in with thank you as well on that Bebo bomb lined up. Abyssal Breaker gonna do some huge damage, but Spade wants in, shifting in on the Jewel. That grab dangerous, would have been a death sentence. Narrowly misses there as both teams reposition. Thank you low. He's gonna want to heal up before we go back in, as the team's just really, again, focusing on finding that one good hard engage, not wanting to commit unless they can.
Yeah, and I think that's part of why we've seen the final circle slow down so much in these first couple of games. Is it's like the engage has to be really clean, otherwise it's kind of GG. And also third parties are almost more detrimental for the same exact reason, where if you're committing with all three and you don't have that fourth player like on the flank or whatever that can actually get out, a third party, we've seen it happen a couple times now. A third party can just completely end your game if you're not like ready for it, if you're not expecting it.
Agreed.
You kind of like don't have that normal cushion.
And engaging as a 2v3, let's say you have somebody playing out, engaging in a 2v3 is much harder than engaging in a 3v4, because you just have much less layers of CC that you can output in that 2v3 as opposed to a 3v4 when you have someone playing out. Lemur going to commit that chilling finale, but not going to find one just yet. Going to just use it to keep himself alive here. That base camp will be coming down in a bad spot, though. 420 and friends low HP here. Lemur will get taken out. So will Dylan. Pamu and Auric putting in the work. Still full HP. 420 last alive in the Abyss here. But that's where he feels most is home, in the Abyss on Jhin, looking for that flip slash death blow kill. Trying to find this crown here on Spade. He definitely wants that. Unable to do so, being dropped low, and Monster with an absolutely gorgeous arrow snipes him from the skies and sends him careening down to below. down to the rest of his team as he is eliminated along with friends.
He juked me on the cam for a sec there.
He did.
I went bottom right. You went off left. And yeah, looking for that Abyss dunk. Same as RTK out here working the glider engine angle. Like you mentioned, where a Jin is most comfortable is right there, just right in the middle of absolute nowhere Abyss. Like terrifying.
That's his airspace now.
Yes, sir. Porridge looking for the entry on just 2 members left of green here. Spadestorms is going to get the crown proc. 10 seconds left. Gets it. And so team members back. Number advantage just flipped on its head as Burgundy now down to 2. They are instantly on the run. Mistake out to the north into the Abyss. Miles to the bottom left. Not a ton of space for Miles and not many options here for Miss Kate, sorry. I keep saying mistake.
Yeah, you could say that was a mistake on Miss Kate, but that's all right.
I think I actually called them mistake like the whole last time I was casting them. I literally just noticed it's Miss Kate.
Fantastic.
Or it's
she's
me
used to it. I
skate.
wouldn't worry.
Is it Miss Kate or me skate?
It's Miss Kate. Miss Kate.
Confirmed.
That's the one. That is the one. But we do see Thank You coming back off of that crown play from Spadestorms. Absolutely clutch. Porridge might be getting a little overzealous, but I liked the energy, actually. I like the bravado to just be, there's only 2 of them. Nah, I'd win. Even though this time you didn't, maybe next time you do. So I like to see that energy. I like to see the initiative here. Miles, that crown counting down, minute 32nd. Pamu, Auric, and Blaz kind of just taking in their options here from the bush. And Green just sitting pretty.
Pretty much like what we've seen the final circle of every game so far is like the last 3 or 4 is very kind of calculated. And if you think about it, what's always been the last 3 is now the last 4, like space-wise, player-wise, because it's 12 players either way. It's either, you know, 3 squads in squads, or it's, you know, 4 teams in trios. But it's kind of, you know, a similar situation. And basically when it's got down to the last 4, we've seen a big slowdown. No slowdown here, though, as Ari looks for the engage. Spadestorm, kind of baits the ult, actually takes it backward, not going to fully commit there. They know Magenta is right nearby, coming in from the north with that damage soul.
Look at the space Lavender gives when they know Magenta's coming. What a snipe from Pomu. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely turning that fight on its head. They immediately gave space to allow Pink to come in because they knew staying in that fight was a death sentence, and they turn it on its head with a pick. Now the Crowns, they want a piece of each other. Miles giving space. RTK looking for the spike, but not able to find it. 20 seconds. Miles does not want this fight. He would definitely rather wait the timer out. RTK looking for blood.
Yeah, he's going to hold this Abyss edge, like, basically for the length of that timer, I would imagine. Probably, I was going to say, if you're Burgundy, you probably don't want to look there. Probably just wait this timer out, like you say, go the other way. You have an infinite amount of space, basically, on the right with the glider engine at this point. And as long as RTK doesn't catch up, he's going for it right here! Oh,
he's going for it! A narrow miss as Fresh Porridge is brought back. Absolutely fresh this time, right out of the oven. Coming back to join us.
That was spicy.
Love the movement from RTK. Miles narrowly keeping his team in this one.
Yeah, and even honestly, bro, like Abyss glider engines is almost like a debuff for Jin because it lets other people. He's so good at staying out there anyways without it that it kind of lets other people, you know, exist out
play
there.
His game.
Play his game, exactly. But it's gonna be just fine. Actually, Burgundy in a pinch now between Green and Lavender.
Looking
rough
bad
spot for Miss Kate here.
Narrowly staying alive, but Fresh Porridge, I don't know if he's going to be around much longer. Gets the spike! Absolutely turning things on his head. Spadestorm's going to be able to clean up Miss Kate on the other side of the wall here as we see some more aggression coming out for Burgundy. Monster looking for that kill on Miles, unable to find it.
What's Pamu doing?
Pamu?
DC?
Pamu's having a sip, you know? He's having a little bit of water, and it looks like it's going to cost him his life here as he most definitely disconnected here.
GG Lavender,
and
RIP.
Yeah, GG's to Lavender. Great spike coming out of Porridge here to keep himself in the game. Looked like he was dead to rights. And Aurig will be punished there for his aggression. But Miles just slipping by RTK. But RTK wants in. Dagger will land, but it won't be to his benefit as he immediately gets put down. And the cannonball is committed here. That rocket punch coming through. Decent damage being down onto Bun. Bun will get cleaned up. And that dagger was actually just, well, a dagger in the back of RTK. As it just absolutely means demise for their team.
One of those ones where you're not quite sure if it worked out the way they were thinking it was going to work out. Look at their, like, the absolutely stacked these item evolutions with Blinkstone. Full gold's going to be very hard to punch through. The double soul shrapnel damage. Like, these armors are basically gone already on green. So this is certainly an uphill battle for green at this point, just looking at kind of where everything's at, but certainly still winnable, especially in a 3v3 scenario. It looks like, thank you. Okay, was pulling the fire back, gets that recall in. So now we have a duel of the fires. Dude, and this is the new island, so this not new anymore, but relatively new in the grand scheme of things.
You don't see a lot of gameplay on this island, truth be told. It's so out of the way that unless the circle goes here, we don't really get to be involved. Porridge going to look for the punch, not going to land, immediately getting himself out. Absolutely, Bishop being very neutered when that punch is off cooldown. I'm surprised we're not seeing more aggression out of the Jewel here once he knows that punch is gone. Charge committed. Porridge going to be looking for an engage off of that. He does. He goes in, finds the punch. No, he doesn't. Actually, only hits the wall. Miskate going to commit the Flight of the Fox here, but it's not going to be enough. Thank you being dropped very, very low here. Tonky will be able to pick up one, take them out. Porridge going to be able to drop very low and killed actually by Mansa. Mansa fully aggressing onto Miskate here. That Heart Piercer trying to keep himself away from this Felix, but Felix damage. Myth versus Felix is just not a good matchup as Miles is able to clean him up. Spadestorm's going to find fresh Porridge. Dude, thank you.
Both sides
keeping himself in
so well. Yeah, actually, like such a close fight. Now Miss Kate roasting down. Thank you, looking for a way out. Cannot quite get it. Now numbers to red. Just one player left. Spadestorms has that Abyss Specialist. Jukes left goes right.
Huge reset. Going back in. Spadestorm's trying to find this one. We'll be able to pick up K. It's just Miles half HP. Both jewels now. It's a jewel off. Thank you. Could be res. Spade doesn't get it in time. 1v1. Miles at half. Spade at full. Miles with just a chunk of gold armor left. Spade trying to find an armor that he can wear, is able to do so, gets that full red and grabs that red item as well. Looking good. Miles going to put that camp down for vision and hopefully keep himself alive. He wants space here, but Spadestorm's not going to give it to him.
Yeah, the classic Jewel 1v1 me, bro. Spadestorm's such a clean juke left, dash right, gets both members kind of caught out there. Now looking to work it on Miles. Show him who is the superior Jewel.
Oh, there it is.
In strong fashion. Spadestorm's legitimately the #1 Jewel player for as long as I can remember, back in action here, even with the nerf Jewel in trios, comes away with the solo carry for the dub in our, I think it's our third match of trio squads. Let's go.
Yep. He might just be him, Zik. He might be him.
I mean, for those that haven't been around for a long time, Spadestorms has, and he's been cooking on Jewel since, like, he was literally the very first person I can remember, besides maybe like Sheepa. It was like Sheepa and Spadestorms were the very first people that I saw cooking on Jewel, like over, a year ago when stuff was starting to shake out. But yeah, that was sick. I love and like the fact that you can see, like, the enemy can see your aim laser when you're dashing, right? So it might not be super obvious from like a spectator POV, but in that final play, we see him pretend like he's gonna dash left. They think he's gonna dash left because he has his Abyss Specialist. They think that's the same play, is to dash left, play over Abyss in the 1v2 with your Abyss Specialist. But instead, he just whips it around at the very last second. It nails them both, bro, and just a thing of beauty. Love it.
He lands that last auto max range and sees the stack. And you can see he's already charging his dash. He's planning to make that Abyss play because it is, for all intents and purposes, the correct play to keep his team in the game. But he sees that stack land and he says, the epitome of nah, I'd win, and dives right back in. Cleans it up, grabs Miss Kate, and brings us into that astounding 1v1 against Miles, which, to Miles' credit, played like a lion, fought like one too, and ultimately would go down to Spade here. It's just, showing why he's the OG, right? Absolutely a blistering 1v1 to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and that you can just kind of see how comfortable he is. That's like another, kind of like comfort thing where, in the 1v2, he's got like nothing to lose, right? So he's just playing his heart out. And it's like when you're the 2 in that scenario, you have a little more to lose. You're supposed to win that. And yeah, Spadestorm's just unleashing the Jewel. And I love, like, that is Jewel's thing. Like, if you're a Jewel main, if you play Jewel, that line you just said where it's like, nah, I win this. Like, that is the Jewel mentality, bro.
Yeah, it really is. But no, credit where credit is due, though. Initially, that fight looked like it wasn't going to go great for Burgundy because we did see the commit from Fresh Porridge and that punch doesn't land. But we immediately see it followed up anyway. From Miss Kate's Felix, just absolutely carving a path through and isolating Thank You on that higher ground there on the wooden platform, where they're able to do some decent damage and kind of solo each other out, where they trade kills. And then Miss Kate just being an absolute powerhouse, taking that front line and taking the pressure. Just, sometimes you can't really account for star power, and that's where, Spade comes in, gets that kill, cleans it up. But I would honestly say both teams playing that really well, both teams showing good fundamentals, understanding the kind of the macro play of a team fight where you need to use these ultimates and the punches and the flight of the fox to kind of divide and take space and deny space so that you can capitalize on different abilities and secure kills.
Yes, sir. And I'm trying to figure out how to change my stream title to say trios.
I believe in you.
So bad at Twitch. Okay, I found it.
Zick pulling up his options here. We're going to see if he's able to find where to input.
This is what's going on in my head. All right, I think I did it.
Yes, you did. It
Nice.
now says trios.
Let's go. All right, looks like big man Chadley's filling as our last player here on Team 11. About to ship it into... What do you think about the 12 teams of 3 versus 10 teams of 4? Do you feel like it's basically the same? Because it's 2 more squads, but it's 4 less players.
I like it, personally. I like it. And
it's in theory, the map should feel a little more crowded, especially in the drops at the beginning, because there's technically 2 more teams, but each team technically takes up less space. There's 1 less person around farming camps, scouting. It's an interesting sort of thing to think about. That's this has been my day today, bro. Is I've sort of just been what does this mean?
Right. What is this? How does this change things?
Yeah, my reality just got turned upside down. I'm what does it mean?
I think there being more farm in general on the map is a positive thing, because it effectively makes the lobby more competitive. You'll have 1 more team effectively that is more powerful than it would have been in the previous iteration of the game, which adds to more variety to see who you see showing up in endgame at what strength. And just overall, I think we'll see more teams in endgame than usual, and then we're gonna have very explosive endgames. Is what this is going to trend towards. Is my prediction, my humble prediction, which I could be entirely wrong. I think we're going to see aggressive early games, very, very quiet mid games, where teams go back to farming after those explosive fights. And then you're going to see a scattered skirmishing of a team or 2 going out in the mid game. And then when you've got those last 5-6 teams towards that end game, you're going to see a lot of poking, a lot of prodding, and then suddenly a flip is going to switch. And everyone's going to go at each other. Teams are going to drop like flies until you've got those last 2s, and then we go back to that poking and prodding until we see a commitment.
That's in that when you go back to early SUPERVIVE, the kind of earliest competitive SUPERVIVE, that is basically what, without Resurgence, without any of the new stuff, it was basically what you just described, where early game very spicy, a lot of early skirmishes, but then everyone kind of spreads a bit and farms through mid game. However, the teams that are sort of quote running the lobby are kind of that gain momentum from those early fights, they're looking to hunt that whole time, right? So there's still fights happening mid game, but anyone that basically lost those early scraps are looking to kind of peel and farm it up and kind of catch up. And then we used to see just crazy explosive last 3-4 squads, and today the final circles have been fairly slow, but I think a huge part of that is the same thing as us spectating, just players trying to literally figure out, how do I even play this? Because it's literally happened today. We're not even supposed to be playing trios right now, I don't think, technically. It's just in custom games, but the playtest is over. It was just 2 hours in EU this morning, and then 2 hours in an hour before scrims. And so I think as teams get more experience, we're going to see the momentum pick up in late game. But I think the reason we see kind of the slow paced, or let's say more calculated late game, is exactly what we were talking about earlier, where there is the consequences are much more real for your actions, for engaging, and it's more easily punishable without that 4th player. And so like we were talking about, it's you have to find that perfect engage. You have to know it's right, otherwise it's not worth engaging, because you can just very easily put yourself in a position where you're getting third partied. But it's going to be, I agree in general. I think in the end, we're probably going to see more kind of explosive combat, but I do think especially it being so new, it's going to be a bit slower paced at the beginning. We're going to see players trying to figure out, they'll probably be starting to limit test, already.
Yeah.
Even just 3 games in. But I think it's just a bit of like a learning curve for everyone here today, for sure.
Yeah, I think the first thing to understand is like being down a man is much more painful now compared to the previous iteration.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's why we see slower play, because nobody wants to be the guy to make the mistake at the start, especially in scrims like this where people are bouncing around your different teams. Synergies are not going to be fully present. It's not the whole entirety of TLD or Gap pulling up. People who've been playing together for months or even years. So we've got a lot of people who normally haven't teamed together that are now teaming together.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly how the teams are happening, but they're doing some sort of scramble where even game to game, the teams are not the same. So they're getting constantly mixed up.
Correct.
We see Purple here, Illusion, Ari, and Immense coming into game 4. But I wanted to go back. What were we just talking about, bro? My thought train crashed right before that.
Being more cautious, not wanting to be the guy to make the mistake.
Yeah, the
understanding that
math
you're at
of
a
it. Okay,
disadvantage.
so you said, which is exactly true, fighting a 3v2 is harder than fighting a 3v4.
3v4.
Yeah, and the reason that is mathematically, when you have 4 players on your team and you're missing one, you're down 25% of your power. When you have 3 people on a team and you're missing one, you're down 33% of your power. So you literally have, when you think about it that way, you have 8% less power to fight with if you're down a member, just kind of like going by the numbers. Hopefully that kind of gives people a little better picture. It always helps me to think about stuff in numbers. I know that's not everyone's like that, but
it does make the game a bit more flowcharty for newer players who don't understand either. Like, oh, I'm down 1, just like how Dan is now. They're down 1. Lavender going to get pieced up. Here's Aiden is now being reduced to Wisp form. Shroom lasts alive, doing some decent damage to Afro here, making him think twice. But RTK has none of that hesitation as he surges forward, looking for this, trying to find a kill here. Shroom piecing him up, but it won't be enough as he being dropped very low. RTK wants it, doesn't care how low his HP is. I can die. I have 2 teammates. You don't. I'm coming for blood. Schreikel committing now. The bomb won't be able to land. Shroom absolutely just giving them the works.
Actually
moving. Holy moly, the Shroovement, maybe.
I was waiting
but it won't be enough. As Schreikel does finally land.
I was gonna make a point about how quickly and final it can happen, and then he just dodged everything and
dodges everything.
Ruined my point. But in the end, that's kind of the finality we're talking about, where you have an early fight, it looks good. All of a sudden, it doesn't look good. You're down to just one member, and they have a Jhin alive, and as well as the other 2 members. So it's like, how is your Zeph gonna get away from that Jhin and kind of isolated, 3v3 like that? And the answer is he's not. Shroom almost did. Shroom made the best look for it, like wassying everything. But
Shroom was movement king right there, as we see Lavender. I guess this is true Lavender. The other one was purple, and red here trading kills back and forth. That microwave will be able to find 1.
Microwaved.
Okay, can he find 2? Gets punched into the wall. Mitch P, that's enough out of you. That's a little scary. We're gonna have to ask you to tone it down here, Mr. Microwave, as the box res is now coming through. Red coming out on the winning end of this, but it doesn't seem like we're through yet. 420 and Ring want to weigh in. That charge going to stop him from going. Mitch P says, I've got a fist for you, but Cat Microwave is back. Resurgence, is it a thing here? No. How did he get back in? Did we see a box res, or is that a res coming in out of a? I'm not sure, but he commits here and he will be going down again. But they're able to find one back here. As no, never mind. Chadley is able to grab that kill, gives himself the HP back. Ring in a bad spot here, last alive, just 1 little smidge of damage, and that'll be all she wrote. Spraying for his life, but Ring healing, keeping himself alive. These Zeph players refusing to let it end.
Legit, bro. What a crazy battle here between Lavender and Burgundy, I guess we're going with. But yeah, Ring still barely alive somehow. It looks like Burgundy.
We see Light Green might be getting involved here.
Hunt. Oh yeah, bunch of action over here. Everyone kind of playing out.
It's light green and dark green. It's 2 teams beating up each other. We're seeing some green on green violence as they move past the train here, but Ring still running from the ring. Keep himself alive. Ghost will be picked up there by dark green as light green makes her escape through the tracks here. Getting split up. One on the train and the other one on the tracks. Happy to ride this one out. Ring, the grab will be coming in from Chadley. Decent damage will be coming out, and there's nothing decent about it. It's actually deadly and gruesome as Ring is eliminated, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, a couple fights that were pretty decisive, and then Zeph trying to get away, not quite able to do it. Both Zephs looking pretty good at trying to get away,
Yeah.
but Mage Bog battle happening over here. Sometimes it doesn't
I
pan
think-
me all the way over.
That mobility and that CC coming out from Zeph is even more important now in 3v3s. We might even see his value go up. Lemur narrowly dodging that with the movement orb. That could have been a kill and a wipe, I think. No, Lemur is not, in fact, last alive. They're just spread out looking for fights.
Someone getting knocked out there. I don't know what color that
Yeah,
was. Kinda
Mickey
too many to keep
Sprayed
track
and
of.
Big Maniac. Yeah, that's going to be that team we saw fighting over the Abyss not too long ago. Mitch P punching out Microwave against the wall earlier, and now he looks like he's going to get punched out himself as that card is punched for the final time. Looking to control machine here, light green, in a good position here via items.
Yep, got to be a
But,
little careful. Pretty spread out here.
yeah,
as
definitely.
they're getting some intel on the other green team in machine. This is kind of the
Yes,
a little bit
indeed.
of the slower mid game you were referring to, where everyone kind of that wasn't having those early fights is farming up, and we do have
They want Lucario.
for those that aren't familiar, we are on the changes that happened just this last week. If you haven't played this last week, it's looking spicy here but they
It
do have
is.
another member
Oh.
still on the edge of the fight that hasn't looked in yet. That was like this whole time for green. They were like looking for intel, not looking for the fight. And I think they just really nice.
Oh, what a
bat there by
huge
Thank
bat
You.
from Thank You. Keeping Spade, I believe that was Spade, keeping Spade away.
Thank You.
That
is
could have
the
been a death
Vivo
sentence.
goat. Q-Sync, another
That he
terrifying
really is. Lime showing green their place here. I'm going to call this light green lime because that's less syllables. And,
I like it.
you know,
Big brain
And-
caster move there.
yeah, just like Disney, you know, proving that, you know, all of the villains are lime because evil, every villain is lime. And Thank You proving to be the big villain with the bat here, keeping Spade off of him.
I love the connect there. All right, coming over to Pink, Flint, our last player left with Miss Kate and Starflash, looking for a prayer down here, maybe able to find a beacon or a crown or something to play off. Red in some action up here with Brown playing in the corner of Mage Bog, Shrikle Jordan, RTK, and Afro. Actually, a pretty scary looking red team coming up against
Absolutely.
Arya, Blazerker, and who is this? And
Blaz
Pod Racing.
committing
These are two scary
triple.
teams, actually. This is going to be a
These
good
are
fight.
terrifying teams. These, I would normally say these guys look like they should be winning the lobby, but it looks like they might be taking each other out. That stun won't land. Good shield from Pod Racing here, showing why he is, in fact, one of the oaf mains. A good damage being done to Afro here. He's caught out of position. Will he be able to be punished? He is. He is wisped. He's taken down, and another one might be following up. No, RTK gets himself out of there with a clone swap, but he's very low. He's effectively out of the fight for now. They do get the res on Afro. Afro trying to make himself scarce. The rest of Shrikle Jordan's team and friends trying to get out, but Pod Racing wants more. But 3-2-TY and company saying, can we have a piece of the pie as they look to take space here. Red team, RTK trying to make himself scarce. They're all split up here.
Yeah,
Can
somehow.
Lime capitalize?
I was like, how does that end in Lime finding nothing? It's like 3 members and 1 member red out to the north. The other 2 have red to the south. And so Lime's just kind of left with nothing. Brown still, wait, what?
Oh.
Little miscalculation there by Pod Racing. Somehow just falls to world right there.
He's a
But
big guy, you know. Oath, he's got a lot of armor. He might fall faster.
true.
I'm going to give it to him.
He was surely doing some pod racing and something backfired.
You know, sometimes those engines, they can be funky. Blaz, however, showing how funky he is, putting down Shrikle Jordan. A little bit of email span here. Q-Sank and Parm want some fighting, but Luca Vario and Blaz, are they going to be able to make a little bit of a friendship pack here? They're not, as bullets start flying. Exchanges are underway. Luca Vario committing that salvo, going to cancel, thinking better that he regroups with Q-Sync and Parm. Nothing doing, nothing for it. Blaz going to reset,
Yeah,
trying to find his friends.
Green a little behind on levels here, but they're going to be just fine. They'll
Yeah.
probably find some camps to kind of catch up to the 10 curve. And Pink, it looks like, kind of pressing the momentum. Flint must have been able to get that res, so Starflash and Miss Kate right back in it, looking to put the pressure on purple. They got 1 knock so far. Ari off to the right, already peeling out. Same thing with Illusion. Zooming out a little bit. Looks
Lime
like
getting aggressed on by Red and Mage Bog, yeah. RTK and Afro want to run it back here. As Thank You uses the Tonky to get himself out. That bomb going aggressive, just narrowly not going to hit Shrikle Jordan. Pushing forward here. The Strike Bomb not going to find purchase. RTK trying to find the dagger, but it won't find it either. Both of these teams poking at each other here. Bomb not going to land either. That shield coming in clutch. But Green, Lime constantly on the retreat here. That Abyssal Breaker going to be committed, but nothing for it. Only to use to spy space here. As RTK wants in. PGCY being dropped dangerously, though. Going to be dropped here. The bomb doing some big damage, though. Afro gets traded right back out. Lime going back and forth. Thank you coming in clutch. But now Pink want in. Starflash is coming for Thank You's lunch money, and he will be taking it. Lunch is on him. As Lime, whatever's left of the Monster, I believe, just makes a great escape. Game over, and friends finding some more violence over here as Voxel is wisped out. Bod Racing wants more. Abyssal Breaker not going to connect. Blaz wants it.
Oh,
Going to go through that teleporter. Where did we go?
way over here, 2A.
It looks like we're going to reset.
Unstable portals. Yeah, game over. Actually able to live there. Looks like they're going to call off the fight because there's more action on the other side of the portal as they go back through. It's just madness as Red pushes in. They're sticking the blocks, Res, though. Parya is right back up, so Brown instantly back up to 3 with that XP soul. And now Red, the ones kind of on the run here. Schreikel, Jordan, one tap up there. But it looks like they are going to be able to get away as well. And it seems like as soon as one of these teams starts to chase, they get engaged on by another team. And it's really letting, you know, a lot of players kind of
vicious
get away.
cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've seen it like multiple times now where one player like Lime up here is able to get away, get that res off. I mean, and that's like,
Luka wants this.
yeah, very similar thing
finds
you
it.
see happening in squads. It's just like a little more like pronunciated, I guess, with there being like less players. But
We're seeing a lot less engaging and a lot more skirmishing as Chuis is able to find Monsta and finally eliminating that Lime team. The villains have been put down. This huge spike comes the way of Green here. Not entirely. That's Lucavario actually fighting Parya and Blaz as he gets that kill. Cusick nowhere to be found to help out his friend here on the other side of that mountain. Is Lucavario going to be able to get out? He won't. Blaz will be able to find that with the Shiv Fusillade as Parya goes for the finish.
Yep, and I think Q-Sync called that early. Like, not only down on levels, they have both souls. Like, probably, much better armor. Kind of knows he's behind.
Not a fight they want.
Yeah, sees the kind of writing on the wall. I mean, look at these items. Moss Immune, it's full pinks.
Jeez.
Armor Shredder, Glider Gas. Like, this is a scary XP soul. So each of these guys have 2 abilities upgraded to level 4 now. You're getting that power. So even though their numbers are 2, they're going to be a scary team fight with game over. 30 seconds left on a Crown down here, trying to get his team back in. It has the unstable portal. Can he get it? Huge pin against the wall from the Jewel R&B. Spade Storms again showing why they are the dominant Jewel out here.
Utterly skewered by Spade here. Screwed as well. Not the word I was looking for, but the word I found just as, Spade finds that kill and clean up there. Bringing back Ani into the fight here, I believe, is the one that they were down. Just a nice little pick up there. A good little cleanup onto game over as, he is, in fact, game overed.
Yep. And kind of taking a look across the map. Everyone else is like, Red's looking pretty scary here as well. Looks like they're kind of edge guarding this portal. If we see, if I can click on it, that one's going far north. Big action happening on the boat here as just carnage breaks out across the board. Brown, kind of our villains, like our winning team, on the back foot instantly, down a member right off the bat. They're peeling out, but still a bunch of action. Green looking at the flank of Purple. Purple looking to just like actually peel back off of this boat, go for this loot. And we keep seeing it, more kind of poking, skirmishing, not quite as many all-in engages.
Gonna go through, it looks like. No one's gonna go towards the dinner bell of the res in the north. Oh, Brown in a bit of a tough spot here. Clapping friends, they want this. Lemur and Dylan looking for this. Blaz gonna commit with a Fusillade, but won't be able to find it. Using that bullying to get himself out of trouble, but will it be enough as Clap continues to aggress? Blaz really doing a fantastic job of absorbing all this pressure, but can he keep it up? Lemur committing his shift to try to find this kill here. Clap wanted as well. The stun won't be landing. Blaz doing what he can to stay alive. Parya, clock ticking down, but can Blaz buy enough time? 1 minute 40 seconds. Orange wants this. I think they're gonna find it.
Yeah,
let's
Berserker,
see.
just
Blaz will get popped.
And Parya
Dylan reading the movement here. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, Dylan's reading the movement here through the orb, beautifully played, knowing that Parya was going to go through the wall there, and just they get cleaned up. That, just good spacing, good movement from Orange. Blaz doing what he can to absorb so much pressure. Very well played from him, but unfortunately, you can only do so much before those cooldowns. Well, you press them and you hear that awful little sound that tells you it's not up yet.
Yeah, and it's like, it's such a losing battle trying to like get out across Magebog if you're anyone basically. Like, except like Bebo, like Celeste, Void, who can sort of ignore the water. It's just gonna really end up biting you in the butt if you're the last Shiv trying to just go across.
Can we just talk about for a moment how toxic a Mage Bog final circle always is? Like,
Yes, I hate it. Get rid of water. Let's
you know, like as a gamer, we
let's
already
live-
abstain from showering, we abstain from water, you
let's
know,
live
and
in
like
a
now we're
parched
being forced to play in
Skylands.
it.
Yeah.
It's truly a tragic
this
occurrence
is
here.
Void Zone, man. Void and Debo are meant
Yeah.
to be here.
Afro gonna commit
Oh
the
my
ultimate to try to get
God.
himself out of here. As we see an absolute furball, the Abyssal Breaker being committed out of Dylan here. One gonna get picked up. RTK gonna be able to put down that Spade Storm's Jewel. RTK now getting himself out of their twist. The Jin on Jin battle going up to the north. As Shreko Jordan is being chased over the Abyss by Ani. Decent damage being done here as RTK is able to win that 1v1. And Ani not gonna find it on his end as Shreko was able to turn that around somehow with some good damage. Afro kind of split up from Shreko, but they do have the southern side of the map to play with here as Twist is last alive over there on the outside of that Abyss, outside of the mountains
They
range.
need to regroup here like really fast because this is going to happen if they can't. And Orange
Oh,
has fire
yes.
angle, so they are right on the top of these two members. Twist or RTK coming down from north there. Finally
RTK,
back.
yeah.
A full 3v3 now breaking out. We look at the kind of the setup here. It's like it's pretty even, bro.
It is. It is. I like the poke that's going to be coming out of Lemur here with that aggressive positioning, but nothing doing. That wall is going to be able to keep him in here. I think he's trying to find an ultimate here. He's looking for it. Clap engages, getting inside. Nothing doing just yet, but some decent damage will be traded out. There's that ultimate, but it's not going to be enough as it doesn't really catch anyone. Huge damage from Afro. Dylan gets absolutely exploded, but Clap, will he be paying the price? He will. It's just Lemur now. Two people half HP. Can he find it? Lemur, the legend, the GOAT, trying to do what he can. 3 stacks of that jewel passive on him, desperately trying to get away. Unable to do so. Afro doing some decent damage, but the wall keeping him alive for now. Huge movement using that pad and shift, and he unstable portals away, but how much time is that going to buy him realistically? RTK hot on his tail. Afro gonna follow through. RTK gonna elect to go back to the portal. Shrike trying to find this bomb. Hits one. Can he hit two? The wall denies it. Just at a range. Lemur, the moves. Look at the movement. Look at the chilled finale, but it won't be enough as RTK lands the dagger to seal the deal and take us back to that main menu.
Lemur trying to do Lemur things, almost does it there. Actually, really nice timing. So I think RTK read the cancel there, knew he was going to cancel, go for the pad, and gets the insta timing right when the ult is early cancel. Lemur just gets popped for that 1% he had left, but that was like I think like the engage kind of went wrong a little bit there for Lemur's here. Not wrong, but Lemur basically shipped it over the top with the ult, and the rest of the team tried to follow, but they ran right into the wall as the last player on red dodged the Lemur ult over the top. The other two members just deleted like other two members in the 2v2. Like Dylan got comboed by the Jewel, taken out pretty quickly there, and you know, in the end, like Red played that just really well to give him a situation where Lemur was isolated in the 1v1 because Lemur didn't really get to participate in that team fight. He kind of went over the top with the ult and it didn't really proc until his team was already dead. But I think in the end, really well fought there by Red to kind of read that situation.
Absolutely. Good spacing, not overcommitting. I feel like the engage was a bit forced. There wasn't really a lot going on, and I think they were just a bit split. And since they were a bit split, they knew that the moment Clap ran out of cooldowns, or if they wanted to decide to commit on Lemur to the south, that things were going to go very, very badly. Since those cooldowns were already expended, Lemur's wall was already down. He had already used his shift. So it's like we need to now make something happen to ensure that we're not the ones being engaged on at a disadvantage. And unfortunately, it just didn't go their way.
Faux show. I'm going to use, I literally have no idea how many games these guys are doing because it's not the normal, it's not our normally scheduled programming. I'm going to go grab some water and a super quick bio while we have this quick minute break here.
I think I'm also going to grab a cup of water. So stream, we'll be right back.
BRB. I am back. All right. Yo, Big Sweets. Thank you for the follow, brother. Whatever that was. Sasaruga, what's up? Probably going to be shipping it in any second here. To game 4? 3? 4. I think this is 4. Bro, I'm so bad at keeping track of what's happened 30 minutes ago.
Select your hunter.
The hunt sets us free.
You are the drop leader.
I gotta figure out how to freaking turn down my stream alerts, dude. They're like so loud. And I thought the toggle was in OBS, like I unchecked sound alerts. But I think it's literally through like Twitch. Oh, and my chat is delayed too.
Chat, tell me what I missed and why it's that Zik is the
Oh,
greatest there ever was.
Dude, it looks like Kai is the greatest there ever was. We got some Kai lovers in the chat. Let's go. Kai, best caster. Kai's so talented. Best
Oh,
caster.
that's
5,
absolutely not true.
sure. I'm starting to believe it, dude. It's looking pretty good out here.
It's only because of the star staff that I'm surrounded by. Oh goodness! Oh, look at this drop. I wonder if we'll see some early aggression for Academy here.
Let me ask you a serious question.
What's up?
What is a plain cone, and why is it not happening here?
That's true. What is a plain cone? Because apparently we're not getting one.
And to this day, I have not gotten a straight answer on what the hell a plain cone is or how it works or why. But we have them in
And I don't think
Supervive.
we ever will.
Probably not.
We're seeing
because-
a lot of teams going for this train.
Oh my god, bro.
Wow.
It's about to be madness here.
Absolute bloodbath. One team peels off, but the rest of them
Oh.
committing. We're seeing Lime, Brown, and Orange. They all want a piece. Starflash gonna get dropped by Pardia here. Game over. Gonna get game overed himself. Orange just has one team alive. Pod Racing keeping his friends going. Trying to bonk them all off the train with his hammer and succeeding at
The
that. Luca
monster
Vario gonna get
hammer.
dropped, but picked up. And Brown, Ani, and Pod Racing just win the train fight.
GG.
Absolute vehicular manslaughter.
This is I expect these guys to go on to win the game hands down, no contest. All eyes on
Like-
Brown here, guys.
Yeah, just Ani proving to be the superior train conductor here. He says, "All aboard." I think not. All aboard upon Dylan apparently, as he gets absolutely trounced by Red here. But it seems like his team is going to be just fine, and I expect to see Dylan back in good spirits in just a bit as the farming continues.
So I've been trying to figure out what they're doing with the teams, and I think what they're doing, bro, is they're keeping 2 players that normally play together and then cycling the third one, which is why we've seen Dylan and Lemur on the same team basically every game. And there's been a couple other pairings like that I've noticed. They are, I think Illusion and Krillo have been together. Clap's been rotating. Or wait, no.
Right.
Clap usually plays with Krillo, so maybe they're paired and Illusion's the sub this game.
I think they're trying to keep a core of players together and then rotate the solos that are in here that don't have like their normal roster.
Gotcha.
It
That
seems
would-
like what it might be.
That would make sense. I'm trying to click on this red team, and it's the wrong red team. Sorry, guys. Pulling us everywhere. Over to
Absolutely.
little mana coils action as Pink on the back foot. Kind of right off the bat here. We see 420 down under the creep. RTK kiting to the left here. Actually, last player left, so
Yeah.
under some real
Is
pressure.
this going to be the first team to go?
Very well could be, but got some space up to the north. Looks like he is going to be fine. Pretty tough to chase a brawl. Might be a total waste of your time. You can always try, though. Looks like big man Chadley going to be the last player on the Dylan Lemur squad. And so, like, probably getting some comms right now on where to res and how to keep him in it. Looks like he's going to just go for the safe play way up to the north here, away from everyone.
I don't think he'll
locked
get
after the,
challenged there.
Let's take a look. Let's check back in on our train team. This was what it was all for.
This is what it was all about. Ani with the Masamune. You know, I've played with this guy. This Ani guy, let me tell you. This Ani guy, he's got some real sharp arrows. He sharpens them before every match. He sharpens each arrow he fires personally. It's kind of like a little bit of a ritual. He explained to me that every time he does this, he never loses.
I love
I
it.
made all of that up, by the way.
Well, that makes sense because they won that train battle flawlessly. Also, looking fresh, all skinned up in the Beast Slayer, whatever
Absolutely.
this skin that is. Hey,
Krillo wants this 1v3. He says, nah, I'd win.
It's like, you know, the Shiv is like playing aggro and it's a 1v3 and they just shift forward for their, like, it's just like saying, I will hit this LMB. If I don't, I'm dead. And that's basically what happened right there.
You know, I love it. I expect nothing less from Krillo. The aggression, unfortunately for him, gonna get punished. But, you know, not turned into a YouTube reel just yet. Perhaps next time.
It is the jewel mentality, the assassin mentality, the I'm better than you. I will shift forward. And
Indeed.
there's nothing you can do about it.
Except kill me.
Except when it doesn't work and then I die. Yeah.
Except when it doesn't work. And then there's apparently quite a few things you can, in fact, do about it. Blint holding down his charged Sun Spear there, trying to find something. Won't do so just yet. So he decides to regroup with Twist and Arig as they go on to bully the Guardian here.
Yeah,
Crane
a lot of
passes by like a
teams-
ship in the night. Will these two teams pass each other by, or will they fight for that Guardian? I wonder.
Dude, sometimes when I click the map, it goes all kind of wonkers. I was trying to make my way down here. It's like we got some.
Krillo back, and he wants it again. Diving in 1v3 once more, at least keeping up the status quo. I absolutely love it. Make no illusion, as that is his teammate, and he will be doing that again, as we see Kai Zaro, or Kai, because I'm going to call you Zaro, brother. I'm so
that's it. I
sorry.
think Kai Zaro's
Zaro
it.
being killed by...
I think it's
like
just
Swiss.
Zaro with your name at the front.
Indeed, Kai Zaro. A brother,
A brother,
a sibling,
a fellow guy.
a cousin.
Actually, dude, super random. Kaizaro made the graphic for the Sprocane match point tournament this last weekend. That is
Wow.
on the thumbnail of my latest YouTube video.
I love that. Big shout out to Kai Zaro,
Big
because
shout out to
I
Kai
could
Zaro.
never.
SCT breakpoint graphic. Clutch.
Nice little grapple play coming out here. The hook not going to land from Ring, though, narrowly missing. As Swiss makes some space here, going to commit off of that clone, committing to get out, it seems. As Lucavario is now getting himself involved, as Green wants a piece of Swiss cheese, and they won't find it, as that is a Jin over the Abyss, running
nice
for his
snipe.
life, but Parmesan will find the snipe with the ultimate. Beautiful play out of him. We know he likes his Zeph, and he likes to keep it fresh with those blasts of wind as we reset.
That's like, I mean, if you are a fan of Ezreal, like when I played League for my short amount
Right.
of time, I was a Ezreal main. I was like Ezreal Kaisa mainly. Started with Zaya, but it ended up being Ez and then Kaisa. But anyways, the dopamine you get out of the Ezreal R, like that's pretty
Oh.
equivalent to the Zeph R. Like the Zeph R
Yep,
is the
I can
juice
agree.
if you hit it. And getting a distance snipe like he just did in that previous fight, just feels good, man.
Does feel good. You know what doesn't feel good? Getting absolutely stun locked and wisp as Q-Sync was. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't seem like he'll be brought back by that Ezreal. I'm sorry, Zeph ult. The revive won't come through, and Q-Sync will have to wait for another revive tower before he res beacon rather before he's brought back into this one.
Back to our winning team, Brown here, still on the
Yeah.
hunt, actually continuing to look good. Level 7s and 8, pretty on pace with the leveling, but there's just so much action happening. There's another fight to their bottom right as Green trying to push up out, but they're right in the arms. Red, but it's getting reversed. Actually, Light Green's pumping so much damage. My boy Immense on the Krista doing work, but the boombox, bro. Clutch Res.
Keeping them
off the-
alive.
Dude, big boombox play right there. Spadestorm's back up. Can they make it into the circle
Music
here?
to our ears.
Oh.
Immense. Absolutely immense damage as
Dude.
Shreckle Jordan gets put down. Spadestorm's going to elect to heal. Afro and Immense just trading autos back and forth. Abilities. Afro going to shift back into Spadestorm. He's coming back into barbed wire, going to be committed, but it's not going to be enough as Immense is just holding them at bay here. They're choosing to get this res in, and Immense is now questioning his life choices. He is last alive, pinched between two teams here, but he's able to find a comfy bush. He might just be fine. It's a little bit of NA gameplay, and he'll be good to go. As we see Microwave trying to do what he can to stay alive. Illusion and
Hey,
Clap all over him.
I just
Will it
gotta
be
say,
enough, though?
The bush is some global gameplay. I've seen some EU bush play, and
That's true. That's
like,
true.
let's just say the bush play is universal, and I
It
can't-
is, it is.
I can't necessarily say that one does it more or less because I've seen plenty of EU bushing as well.
Oh, and Annie's gonna make make part ways with that Masamune as he makes amends with the bottom of the abyss here, getting spiked. 3 TY
Dude,
last
Arya just
alive.
one
Krillo
tap
wants
there.
this. Pod racing and illusion and clap, trying to make friends, but it won't be enough.
Dude,
Pod
there's
racing
so
gets
much
put down.
happening.
Krillo is able to find that kill, and 3GTY gets put down. That's a team elim right there as well. Big grab coming out of Starflash. Big stun, but the counter stun coming from Sprokane. Slug Wave committed, and
Big.
Starflash will be committed to the grave. They try to get him out, but it won't be enough. A
Arig.
big grab from Sprokane.
Yeah,
Arig.
Arig answers back with a dunk of his own right on the south, catching Gray off guard a bit. Sprokane, actually the host, bro, of the Sprokane match point tournament that happened this weekend. Huge fan of Sprokane, goated EU player, does a bunch of cool events
What
over there.
a guy.
But yeah, we got Dan Bridges. I think all three of these guys are EU. Aiden brought in his EU boys to fill out the lobby a little
Fantastic.
bit for us. Yeah, I
No,
mean,
Aiden
dude,
honestly going overtime to just win tourneys or try to win tourneys, both in
Dude.
EU and in A.
Aiden
What
is
an absolute beast.
dude, like definition of beast. This man just games and then he games some more. Like the EU guys were literally teasing him like a month ago about starting his narcolepsy arc, bro, because he'll literally fall asleep mid scrim because he's been playing like 18 hours straight or whatever. Like an
That's real.
absolute animal, and looking to compete like in Marvel Rivals and stuff too. Like he's just a competitor and an absolute terror out here in the breach. Bringing his-
Absolutely. Mansa being dropped
Oh,
low here. Will be cleaned up by
our
Krillo.
champions here, bro. XP Soul.
Brown team, yeah, they're here. XP Soul, level 10, 11 on the Paria.
Dude, team to look
Arya
out
on
for.
that-
I
on-
would if
yeah,
they win
absolutely.
off of this train drop, it's gonna be legend.
Train meta. That's it. We're
Train
calling it.
meta. Looks like Gray gonna be kind of posturing, have high ground against light green here. I don't think there's much going on across the rest of the map. They are gonna throw the fire down. It's gonna be sort of countered by the Bebo bomb. Now Monsta actually totally split out, trying to find his way back to his team. Thank you, shipping it in with the Tonk Tonk. Barely misses Dan Bridges there. So in the end, Monsta gets taken out without a real answer from Thank You or Immense. Thank You taken out. Immense, last player left. All of a
needs to get
sudden,
out of here.
really needs to
Yep.
get out of here, bro.
Everyone is looking very healthy on the side of Gray here. Immense in some immense trouble, no pun intended here, as he is looking not long for this world. Unfortunately, going to get cleaned up for him there. And that's Monster Immense, and Thank You committed to the spectator side.
Yeah, and a couple other players we see on the kind of split res. If we go to Voxel up here, getting collapsed on. Oh, just kidding. This is game
Sure.
over resing. Okay,
over,
Voxel
coming in with
just
the
died.
res.
Okay, he's back. He's back. He's right here.
There we go. He's back. He's all right. Wait, is he?
Wait, no, he died too late.
He didn't. He died too late. He died just as the res went off. That's so tragic for Vox.
I'm sure. Surely, I was cursing him with my terrible observing.
That's just the caster curse, tragic and classic.
Now you have the caster doubled with the observer curse, where
The observer curse, truly.
that's
Clap
new-
wants
that's
in,
new
and he
tech.
does get in. Goodness gracious, we see 4 teams here on 3 different islands.
Oh.
Lil Parm being dropped dangerously low as we see Gray committing onto Q-Sync. Can he get out? A spike coming through as well. Decent damage done on both sides, but no one really dying. Only seeing 1 kill. Make that 2 as Q-Sync gets absolutely caught. In the battle of the supports over here on the side, Parm will be able to win it.
Yeah.
Paria going down.
That was huge for Parmesan over there on the right. I was trying to keep everyone in vision. And there, dude, our brown team is out. So train team loses right there off of that supportal combat. Parmesan
Yep.
getting the better of Paria there and
Getting the better of
eliminating them
Paria,
at 8.
indeed.
So
Well, yeah, it just proves that if you land train, you'll be in pain. You know, if it rhymes, it's got to be true.
I love that. Dude, you're on point with the whatever you'd call these little quips. I love them.
Oh, I'm just trying to fill in the space here.
It's
You know,
beautiful, dude. It is beautiful. I have generally less to say when I'm trying to observe because I'm trying to not only internalize
Absolutely.
what's happening on the map and in the
This
game.
observer guy here is pretty good. I gotta say, he's doing a pretty good job.
Well, dude,
I don't know who
figured
he
out
is, but I like him.
This right click tech, Main Jam showed me this right click tech. It actually how I can go smooth like this. I literally couldn't figure out how to do this before. I was like WASDing like this, and if you just right click, you can just like
Oh, that's so much nicer.
yeah, you can steer like way more smooth. So I don't even have to be like my observing got infinitely better when he told me that the other weekend.
Gray
so.
on the right hand side here. They want it. Auric not going to find the grab. Clown emote from 420. Looks like you're going to have to do better next time. No committal just yet. That orb, but nothing doing. Little bit of chip damage. Flint landing a couple of left clicks, but not much more. 420 being dropped low here. Auric wants it. The Cook not going to land, but they want it anyway. Miss K, the counter engage. The Flight of the Fox will be committed. RTK going to try to back her up. 420 now full HP or near that. Dagger won't land, but he will take out the tree. And he's going to think better of going in on that hook, narrowly missing once more. If Auric hits one of those, that's going to be all she wrote for this pink team. Gray wants it, but pink team just putting up just enough of a deterrence here to keep them at bay.
And we saw 420 looking for an early out, but he comes back. I think he comes back
he
because I think
does.
pink is calmsing like we win this, and there we go. Really nice.
Win this,
look
and
by
they
Miss
do.
Kate.
Miss K, huge damage. Oh, but Starflash and friends want in. Orange team looking to find a kill here. Auric narrowly avoiding the slam. Twist is picked up by Game Over. Looks like this third party is going to pay big dividends as Gray is finally put down here. RTK and Starflash trading emotes, but not much more as they reposition and regroup.
Yeah, I'm honestly pretty surprised Orange playing that. Like, they played for loot there instead of pushing that fight. They had cooldowns.
did.
Nice grab by Starflash. Going to lock in that kill
Beautiful.
anyways, but I was going to say they had kind of team advantage there, and it looks like they don't even care. They're going to just go ahead and force the push against Pink. Get it anyways. Now 420 level
Illusion
10.
wants this
Oh,
crown.
with the dunk! Huge!
There it is, a huge dunk on 420. Procs the crown, brings K and RTK back, and they immediately commit onto green here. K committing that ultimate, going deep in the team, and immediately getting herself right back out as Lucavario commits that Viridif's Frenzy, Fury rather, to push Kate back out. But 420, is he going to get hit by this? He is, but he does not get spiked. Kate recommitting, being dropped dangerously low here. That anti-heal paying dividends from that rain of arrows. Gonna keep her down. Big stun coming out on the end of RTK onto Q-Sync, but it's not gonna be enough. Is he being dropped dangerously low? Can he outmaneuver this big fight? He does. Huge damage, being able to pick up one. Can he get two? Huge self-heal coming through from that ultimate. RTK trying to get himself out here, creating some good space, but the Rain of Arrows is gonna be able to finally put him down, but his team is still in this.
Yeah,
420 and Kate get back up.
Yeah, 420 looking, actually finds an angle on Parmesan, clones back out though, not going to fully commit to that, being down a member. What a good fight there, playing that.
RTK just absolutely going man mode, allowing 420 to get the res onto Miss Kate. Unfortunately, it's going to cost him his life, but they keep themselves in the game.
Yeah, and instantly
Speaking of being in the game, we just see 2 squads go.
Yeah, so big rank up in points there, as now kind of the team to beat Orange here, looking terrifying. Double soul, 3 glider jets, full pinks
the double
on
glider jet on
Starflash.
Game Over.
Like, this is the team to kind of beat here, and it's their game to lose. So Pink still down RTK after that, and it looks like Green's going to be sort of fine, just playing it patient up to the right, waiting to see what happens. Q-Sync finally in.
Pink the dark horse here. 420 was last alive, and he grabs that crown off of Illusion. Can he get another one? He does! Doing it twice, 2 for 2. RTK back in this one. Pink showing that they may be down, but absolutely not out, so long as 420 has a Jin and an Abyss.
Dude, Pink is absolutely going off. That's, the second within like a minute, 2 minutes time, crown proc by 420, getting another very nice kill there, bringing the whole team back once again. And it's like, it's looking pretty good for Pink all of a sudden. What was looking like a back foot has kind of got reversed. And I think the way
420 wants to do this classic flank.
Yeah, I like Green needs to be
in on
careful
this.
here because they want to find this flank on Pink, but their Oranges are recovering behind them. And so it's like they got to do
Orange
this
is going
fast.
for a
It's got to
res.
be in and out and win, or
420 needs to come back in. Miss Kate's in trouble here. He needs to commit. He does. Gets a kill. Picks up Little Parm. Recommits back in. Doing some decent damage to Lucavario. Q-Sync gonna commit. However, on the other side, we'll be able to find Miss Kate on the bunny.
Getting the
That
res,
boombox
though.
will be dropped. Miss Kate, will she be able to come back in here? The res does come through. They're back in. 2v3 now. Jumping onto Q-Sync. Will get put down here. RTK dropped dangerously low. So is 420. Lucavario can still win this if they're not careful. The Rain of Arrows is just a tiny bit overshot. That could have been crucial. Lucavario going for this res onto Q-Sync, unable to find it. 420 not going to fully commit. RTK looking to clean this one up. Miss K
here
onto
comes
him, burning him down to a crisp. There comes Orange. Now the grab won't be landing. Starflash just a little bit too slow. Voxel, game over. They need to be a little bit faster. The Abyssal Breaker is committed out here. RTK being soloed out. Grabbed by the Tonky Tonky.
420
is Miss K.
again, dude.
420 is the absolute hero. That is the 5th spike we've seen come out of him in the last 3 minutes.
And Miss Kate is down, but it's in the 2v2. Oh, and it gets reversed, so it's back to RTK again as the final member.
Last alive.
Oh my god, the
1v2.
back and forth for Pink here, bro, is insane. Gets the crown. Has a dream.
Down but not out. Orange can't stick this res. They did just use this beacon. That slam doesn't land. Starflash gonna commit the slug wave, but nothing doing. RTK gonna commit. Can he find it? Not just yet. Starflash
Oh
spacing
my
himself
God.
just dangerously so, but just out. Boombox committed.
They're both looking for the dunk there. You can literally tell in like the micro movements. He's like, I'm gonna dunk him. No, I'm gonna dunk him. Like the Kingpin versus Brawl dunk contest. Just
Indeed, slam not gonna land again. RTK gonna get grabbed. But there's no slam to follow that up. The slug wave is not gonna be enough.
Oh.
Whoa, and that's just it. A crucial oath shield there at the last second from Voxel, keeping that stun from coming through, and then the damage just cleans it up.
Yeah, I gotta give it. Oh, Train wins here. GG.
Train does indeed win. Train
Let's-
is, you can't beat nature.
In the
guys.
end, bro,
Train
the
is
train
nature.
won. We thought the train drop was gonna be meta. At first, it didn't look like it, but right there, we see it come through. The train always
Full circle.
wins. Full circle, baby. But dude, I mean, Orange played that very well. Like, props to them for peeling when they did after the 420 spike happened. Playing that patiently, waiting for the other two teams to fight it out. But that whole time, like basically the last back half of that game, Pink just playing out of their minds, guy. Like all three of them,
Absolutely.
especially 420 on that Jin, pulling through multiple dunks for Crown Procs, just monster.
Yeah, 420, just the absolute hero, because initially you're getting a third party against that fight, Gray there, where Arig and company get put down by Orange, and then 420 being last alive, getting chased by Illusions, the fellow Jin, over the abyss, only to turn and flip slash death blow him, crown up, bring the team back, re-engage onto green, where Miskick gets put down, and then RTK goes on that absolute tear while the res comes through, only to find yet another crown over abyss to bring Pink back in again. Absolutely insane work.
It's like, and it's so cool. I love here's another like interesting trios thing to think about is these hunters that don't find as much success in squads, or they're harder to pull off, Jin being one of those, where if you look at kind of high level competitive SUPERVIVE play, you see maybe one Jin a match, maybe two Jins a match. And
Right.
it's usually on players that are basically Jin one tricks. Like they are way more comfortable on Jin than they are on anyone else. And a lot of times when you see that, you even see things like them trying to switch off of Jin. Like I've seen Jin mains who I've never seen play anyone else, like literally switch off of Jin like mid scrims. Because
Right.
he's just a lot harder to make work in a squad setting. When you have four players together strategizing, it is harder to kind of get in there and do the kind of assassin delete thing that he wants to do. However, when you now have squads of three, they're basically like there are more opportunities for picks, right? Where if you can find, one player kind of caught out, there aren't as many teammates around that can respond to that. And yeah, hunters like Jin, like I think are maybe going to see kind of a rise in meta, because when you get a lot of isolated kind of 1v1s like we're seeing, like he can really go off. His weakness is in the team fights, but if he can find isolated 1v1s, if he can bring you out over abyss, like he is just insanely strong hunter. And that's really cool to see Jin's kind of going off out here, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to positioning, and the punishment of bad positioning becoming even more key and pivotal when you just have less numbers. Because again, as we've talked about several times throughout this little scrimmage here, is the 2v3 is much harder. We see a lot of teams go down 2v3 and they just disengage. They walk away. They immediately call it, this is a loss, regroup, let's look for the res. And instead, where normally you'd see teams still commit, fight to get that control of their teammates' wisp and bring them back and see if they can turn it around. Whereas oftentimes you just see them walk away unless it's very clearly safe that they can recover that wisp player.
Yeah, another really good point. We'll see definitely like some kind of changes to how people play even around Wisp. Like, yeah, is it even worth fighting for that positioning for your Wisp, or is it just better, to peel out? And something else we've been seeing is like, you think like in theory there should be more teams around to third party you, right? But it doesn't necessarily feel that way. I mean, maybe just because I'm observing, but I don't know. I guess like I wonder if these players are feeling like they're getting third partied more often or less often.
Honestly, it could go like another layer deeper. It's the threat of the fourth party. Like, yeah, we see these two teams fighting, but we have to keep in mind it's not 10 teams anymore. There's more teams on the map now.
True.
And while there are less quote unquote players, I think, yeah, definitely there are less players. There are more teams. So the odds of there being a fourth party have actually increased. So you kind of have to keep that in mind
Yeah.
when you're going in as a third party. Like, is this a fight that we can clean up quickly?
Yeah.
Which
and
is why,
that-
like, I don't
yeah.
actually begrudge Orange for the play that they made when they cleaned up Gray, when they were fighting Pink and Gray, and choosing to loot instead of full committing to try to also clean up Pink. What if there was a fourth team coming?
Right.
You know, then that loot suddenly becomes more valuable. Obviously, we have that observer site where we know they were safe to pursue that fight, but they don't. So they choose the safe option.
Yeah. I mean, it's like some really interesting, like, kind of deep stuff to consider, and I think it's like, you know, when this change goes through, which it's looking like it's going to be beginning of April, so fairly soon, a couple weeks out.
Yep.
Like, we're going to see a big shift in the overall meta. I think, like, it's kind of hard to predict what this is going to end up looking like, because you can never, even if you see like some amount of sample size, like we're seeing here, like the way kind of stuff plays out over the course of a couple days. Once you have something like live, you know, on a live patch that's like a bunch of matches are getting run, we'll have like a much kind of better picture of how it's looking in comparison. But like, I think you know, it's not like those trade-offs where there's some things I like about it and there's some things I maybe don't, where maybe this is just me being like greedy from an observer, like spectator perspective, but I like watching more chaos.
Right.
Like, and I know that might not be necessarily fun in the moment if the chaos is like causing you to lose or whatever, but you know, something that makes SUPERVIVE so epic to watch is the sheer volume of chaos. And I think basically before teams could more freely kind of participate in the chaos, like Fiesta, knowing that there was at least one person to get them back, right? If just one
Right.
out of the four didn't fully commit, you know, like you can be all right. But now with just 3 players, we're seeing like to get an engage to go through successfully, you almost need the full force of those 3 players to make it work, right? Like if you're engaging with 2, you might not have the kill potential to win that fight right off the bat, even if you have advantage. So it's like, yeah, I'm kind of just like monologuing here, but I think there's just like a lot of interesting implications that we're going to start seeing like as this continues to play out.
I agree. And I think team composition starts to become even more important.
Dude,
You know,
that's
like if
another
you're like
like
an
such a
oath myth Zeph and your oath gets wisped, gets knocked, like do you have the ability to take space as the myth Zeph against the other 3 to recover that wisp? Whereas if your Zeph gets knocked, maybe your oath can walk forward and recover that with his shield. Maybe he can't. So I think your team comp becomes like even more important as well, like as to what is possible for you to do safely.
Yeah, and I think it's really gonna mix up like the, you know, sort of Zeph oath standard, you know, Zeph oath and then trade a range like Myth, Ghost, now Saros, like, but really
Right.
Zeph oath is the core of so many comps. I think we're really gonna see that mix up, and we literally see a mix up of our winning team who we were just spectating who switched
Yeah.
away, and they're now on. We
Oh.
saw Parya on the Jin, bro. Another Jin out
Rifle
here.
doing
Speaking of
huge
Cat
damage,
Microwave
yeah,
on the Jin
microwave
too.
going in as well, but getting absolutely pieced up. Afro choosing not to commit there. Interesting decision making. I would have thought Afro wanted to clean this up,
I think
but they
they're
are
end up
indeed chasing.
going to,
Huge
yeah.
stun from Schreikel. The LMB does land. Can he land the follow up? Not just yet.
Oh,
Spade, however, going to be able to get
Spade
his own in.
answering back. He just wanted
Trading
that.
back Schreikel.
That was a pride thing. He just wanted that kill against.
It
Pine,
absolutely
for
was.
sure.
He said, anything you can do, I can do better, at least this time. As he gets stunned up against the wall, speared, and Schreikel gets his lick back.
But that's all he needed. He just needed to buy his boy Dylan some
needed it.
time. But dude, this is the worst spot. Level 2, edge of the map, a team in the middle of you and everything else. It is going to be a long road for Pink if they want back in this one. But they are still in it, so
You know, you get up, you make a coffee, and you just wait.
I think
Not
he's
much
making a
else to
coffee
do there.
right now. Look at the map. He's
I
just-
think he is. You know, that's what I would be doing. You know, the circle's coming your way anyway, brother. Just take a breather.
So I was looking for a fight on the map. I did not even see where that last
Look
fight
at
was
Lime.
happening.
Look at Lime, though. Having the entirety of Magebog, Hollows, Academy,
Yeah.
and Frag Isle to farm for free.
It's a good start.
I'm
for
expecting
sure.
them to come out real strong.
Yeah, definitely a good look on the top right of the map. Kind of all to themselves true.
Yeah. As long as they don't get edge guarded on the way in, I could see them being in a good
Yeah,
position
the
to
shift
take
kind
the
of
lead
is
here.
not in their favor, but they should be just fine.
No.
Early storm.
Oh, here we go.
I guess they are
like
mixing
we're
the
gonna have
teams
a
up even
meeting.
more because this is Lemur, 3D, and Annie, who we haven't seen together at all.
Yeah. They definitely are. I think the boys are just having fun tonight.
Storm closing.
Yeah, that's that's what I
Thank you and
was trying to
Monster.
do.
Still
I
together.
just like
Oh.
just like
How?
witness. I was honestly, bro, like thinking about not doing this, and I was like, we have to witness the
We have
first
to witness the
trios.
trios, the
Like, it
first
has to be-
trio
Someone
scrimmage.
has to capture
Yeah.
this.
This has to be documented.
Yeah, so we're out here. But yeah, this is definitely a more chill, Yo, Ghost Malone. Love the name. Thanks for the follow, homie. Ghost
Boy
Malone.
Ghost.
The sports hunter name reference combos have been going strong for a while. There were some great Bebo ones when Bebo came out. I forget.
Yeah.
I forget a lot of them now, but there were some good.
I
Bebo.
saw some Bebo Baggins as well. A little bit of high
Bebo
fantasy in there.
Baggins, that's a good one. Cowboy Bebo was the first Bebo I saw.
Cowboy Bebo, yeah.
I think
Isn't that,
he's-
I'm pretty sure that's Thank You's alt.
Oh,
isn't it?
is it? I didn't. If it is, that makes a lot.
I'm
of
so
sense.
sorry if I've just outed you, Thank You. If you were trying to keep that a secret and I've just absolutely ruined it. You know what? Delete the VOD. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, honestly, that makes sense why Thank You is so cracked because I've seen Cowboy Bebo playing Bebo since like day one of Bebo with the name, like day of back Cowboy Bebo. Dylan on the level 2 Kingpin play still,
Dylan
bro.
running
Just out
for
on
his life,
island.
trying to find
Oh,
something,
dude,
anything, and that'll
so-
be it.
So rough, dude. Literally,
No one kills me but me, he says, as
Yeah.
he commits himself to the abyss. An
doesn't
honorable
even
death for
have
Dylan.
the third ability, dude. We're
No.
4 minutes in the game, can't even throw his hook.
Lemur caught out alone here. What's the goat got to show us here? Is Clap Thank You and Monsta have something to say, but he regroups with Annie, 3 TY. Not looking much worse for wear. Back to the camp, gonna have himself a cup of hot cocoa as Green looking to aggress here. Lemur coming off on the side here on the flank, going horizontal, but the rest of his teammates will be zoned out by that rain of arrows. But not looking to aggress here. Monsta healing up. Annie trying to get involved some way, somehow. The arrows flying left and right. Good bomb from Thank You here, dropping Annie low. Clap will be able to land the chain. Gonna commit off of that.
Oh.
Rain of arrows gonna come in just in time. Good use of the wall to keep himself out, but Thank You being dropped dangerously low by that engage from DGTY. Clap still onto Annie, trying to find that cleanup as the ranged attacks are landing.
Annie
But
really
nothing doing
nice
so
phase walks
far.
to stay alive there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Keeping himself alive, but a huge counter engage coming out of 3TY and Lemur here. Massive damage. Just absolutely pieced them up. Monster now last alive, making himself scarce as he looks for a way back in. Lemur saying, now that you finished interrupting my beloved vault, I'm going to go finish what I was doing.
Yeah, really well played by Burgundy there. Lemur showing, kind of why he is the GOAT, like playing that very calculated, very strategic. With the follow-up from his team, they are going to send them packing. Actually, kind of monster follow-up by 3D on that one. We saw him get the shift, shield, punch, double people into the
Yeah.
wall there. Actually, is that a key? Someone
Absolutely
grabbed that
insane.
red.
Yeah, somebody grab that Slayer's key.
All right, he's got it.
Absolutely, don't leave that sitting there. Annie's going to pick that up. I've just, I've had a source inform me, and that source being in your chat from Val here, that Major League B-Ball is actually Thank You's alt, not Cowboy B-Ball.
Gotcha. Major League People. Gotcha. Not to be mistaken for Cowboy Bebop. Thank you
Not
for
to
the
be
intel,
mistaken
chat.
here.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, thank you, chat. And we see Green here, kind of going on the world tour, skirting by Orange and Cyan here.
Ooh.
As Orange and Cyan decide that they want to be friends, Q-Sync going to get put down here really quickly, shortly by Krillo on that brawl. Starflash deciding better of it and makes himself scarce. Cyan going to clean that kill up, and everyone resets.
It is a pretty it's a pretty open mid game, like kind of like you were saying, like there's a lot of just scraps around, but we don't see the
Not
kind
a lot of commitment.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like legit to that point, like the commitment we're seeing is either early game or late game, but where there's kind of this middle phase where people are not kind of over aggressing because I think they're a bit more worried about that third party, maybe even that fourth party, like you were mentioning, and
Right.
so we definitely see kind of a slower pace to the mid game, more like the skirmish, not quite like too over committal on everything. And I wonder,
agree.
bro, how much of that's due to it just being new as well, because it does make sense from that changes.
It does make sense, yeah. Nobody wants to be the guy to make the mistake here. And speaking of mistakes, it looks like Cyan's positioning is going to leave them between a rock and a hard place as the storm is coming in. Crib going to get put down here. And then Bunny here in a bad place. I'm not sure who that is. Krillo doing what he can. Heal is going to be able to heal himself as he runs right into Lemur and friends. Absolutely being put down. Krillo deciding he's better off in the storm than in the storm that is Lemur's team. But he only finds Green. And he is sent to his early grave.
Yeah, we basically saw.
3-2-Y.
on
Wow.
this- yeah, we saw on my spectator game Starflash with the anywhere but here, just YOLO anywhere but here is right in
He's
front of
out.
him. Just does it, gets out. Actually, like a nice play there because he is going to be the only
Yeah.
one left for Orange. Let's see where it took him. Way over here. Actually, going to be running right into line. Doesn't want this. Trying to find the shot, but
Yeah,
Starflash
looking like he wanted to
out.
buy a crown here.
I think he had
But he wasn't-
space. He does not have our intel on where all these other teams are. He did
No,
probably
he does
have
not.
space to go that beacon, but not anymore. You can see action.
Skyrat's Ruin is going to be the only way for him.
Yeah, and more action breaking out in the grind here. We see 3 teams posturing. Pink team does have
Afro,
fire, but
thank
they're
you.
down
Meeting on the
member.
rails. Low Palm getting caught out by Clap. Is it going to be enough for him to escape here? Skirting around the edge of the abyss. Trading blows, but looking in a bad place here as Clap finally lands that range attack, and the spike does come through.
So
Farm,
four-
sentenced to the abyss.
420 not on the Jin anymore, but still a scary.
Not on the Jin.
Likes the abyss because he's on the Celeste.
Yeah,
So he is an
a
abyss
man after my
player.
own heart.
Yeah.
I do
love
enjoy the Celeste.
And like some people
Yes.
talk about how their favorite mechanic in SUPERVIVE is gliding and
Is the
spiking.
abyss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The abyss. It's such a unique kind of.
It's
mechanic.
such, yeah, exactly. No other game really has this in a VR.
Yeah, and it's like the closest thing it feels like is like Super Smash Bros, where you're trying to like get back on the ship and someone's like
Right.
ledge guarding, like knocking you up, but it doesn't-
Microwave stuck on the roof of the tires there, gets gripped by big man Chadley and put down by Lucavario, but Chadley's going to get it traded back, it looks like. Yes, indeed. Microwave brought back right away. And
he
yeah,
gets
no,
spotted out. I was like game over out north
That's-
on the Saros, but he does.
they
get
know,
birded.
they're aware.
Yeah, they're not gonna commit. Team Lavender about to engage with Burgundy. Already engaged with
Burgundy,
and
Ani already down. The chilling finale will be committed here. 3-2-TY wants to get involved and help Lemur out. Lemur going to get stunned up as he tries to glide away. Miss K committing the flight of the Fox. Decent damage. Lemur forced to walk through it, but the boombox is absolutely clutch from 3-2-TY, keeping Lemur in the fight. What a boombox.
Miss Kate's not happy about it. Throws up the
No,
the
She's
bunny
not thrilled. Oh, man.
Oracle online.
Oh, Parm back in it again, but once more going to be sentenced to the abyss.
Yeah, so Pink's still kind of trying to recover as we follow up on
Yep.
this fight that was happening on the left.
Kate and Flint now being chased by a fully empowered green team, but that flaming Embry, that Embry long range attack from Felix is always so dangerous. Clap wants in on Flint. The Tonki will come through. Big bomb. Flint over the abyss, narrowly keeping his life.
420
Clap
gets one.
wants it.
Oh,
Does. But meanwhile, we see Game Mode and Friends, Game
Where are
Over
these
and Friends are finally eliminated. Big Man Chadley also out.
they
Big grab.
Dude, Pink
coming
is
out
just
from
going
Arig.
off here. I'm so sad I missed whatever happened right before that. Pink just having a heyday up here.
Absolutely. Schreikel finally finds Miss Kate below.
I'm
Afro
sorry, guys. I'm
and
trying to
company
keep
getting
up with the
involved.
action. There's just too much happening.
No worries. And we see Pink absolutely chasing
Dude,
down.
right as
Burgundy
I
up
pan
above as
down there,
well.
bro, she gets instant.
Right as you pan down, and now as we see Flint finally goes down, as
I
Flint, Miss
can't
Kate,
catch-
and Friends.
I can't get there soon enough, guys. I'm sorry.
Lemur last alive here, crown ticking, 135, trying to escape from that vicious Pink team. Starflash looking for a grab here. Can he find it? Not quite.
Just leave the cam
the
on
penguin
Lemur
is
here. That's the
committed.
observer play.
That is the observer play. Afro and Lemur now passing by each other as two ships in the night, but Afro says, I've got some cannons for you as the chilling finale is committed by Lemur to keep himself alive.
Everyone
Time
wants
perfectly to
it.
dodge the grab. Gonna get rooted here on Afro as Lemur makes his escape. Afro also committing the ultimate to get himself out, healing up. Their teams reset. Grab nothing doing for Starflash. Root will be landing, but gonna be able to get himself out before anything is committed. But Afro wants back in. So does Starflash. Afro getting pieced up. Schreikel Jordan now. Lucavario on a 1v1. Can Schreikel find those shots? But a big root gonna come out onto Afro here. He does just narrowly live, but Lucavario showing Schreikel that he is the superior sniper for the time being.
Missile has appeared.
Cat microwaved, getting himself out before that timer finally beeps on him, and he's all for not.
Yeah, two barely living here on Brown. Really nice Aluna route there from Q-Sync.
Ooh.
Almost able to lock in the kill on Afro. Not quite though. Cat microwaved on the Jin, just running into
On the Jin,
everyone, dude.
unfortunately, hand delivering himself to Clap Monster and Friends.
Actually, just not many spots to go. Could have gone right, maybe.
No,
but
not really.
didn't
This is
really
a
have
really good edge guard from Green here. It's one of the only two ways into the circle. Lemur 10 seconds, gonna get this crown for sure. There's no way anyone contests him. So red team
Afro
gonna be back soon.
on the crown play as well over here on the right. So Burgundy's all the way back up. 5 squads left. 2 members of Brown down. Other than that, everyone is alive here. So Afro probably going to play this slow, knows there's space up here. Probably actually, I was going to say
He's gonna
maybe
get
hides
pushed.
it out, but he's just going to do this Guardian YOLO.
Yeah,
Actually, no, he's not. I was like, that's probably not the play. He sees Orange.
that's yeah,
coming,
no.
Like
Yeah,
peels
Orange
up.
wants him.
Yeah. But I was going to say, if he can buy some time, he
Oh,
still has
green and
4
pink are going
squads.
at it down below. Looks like they were definitely trading some blows here. Ooh, big bomb from Thank You. Nuke will be committed. Arig wants this grab, narrowly missing. Nuke gonna buy them the space they need.
Yep, little zoning nuke there. They're gonna
Yep,
make their
little
way
zoning
up. They're
nuke.
gonna find Burgundy
Nothing like
here.
some zoning radiation. As
Any opting
Afro
for the
is still
double
working on his game.
omnivamp,
Interesting.
myth here.
The Interweaver as well as that that helm.
Oh, Afro, 30
Pickups.
seconds.
Afro, 30
No help.
seconds. I don't think he'll
dream.
be able to make this one. Lemur's not going to let it happen, as he finally does indeed just perish to the world here. Orange going to land a decent stun up there from Starflash onto Annie here, but not going to be... Oh, a big grab coming out, and that's going to be all she wrote for 3-2Y. Arig showing why his Kingpin is constantly to be feared. As we see Orange regrasping here, Q-Sync and Lucario doing some decent damage. That Luca going to land onto Lucario, rather onto Annie. Lucario being the one being the man doing the killing here, as Lemur is just running for his life. A grab narrowly missing. A huge heart piercer coming out. That killing finale is going to have to be forcibly committed here for 420 if he wants to stay alive. Starflash not going to find the grab here, as Arig is zoning everyone else out now. 420 doing what he can to stay alive. Arig pushing Starflash and Q-Sync back. Little Parm lending his assistance to the cause.
Oh,
Has
no.
420 out of position, keeping himself alive somehow,
Ah,
but that root's going to land, and that's
yeah.
going to be it. Q-Sync with a huge find.
Big root, really big root by Q-Sync. That's the second one we've seen that's really big. Actually locks that one in, gets the killing blow. If you get hit by that root over the abyss without any upward momentum, you are GG toast. And we saw it there. Lemur,
That's it.
minute 20 on this crown angle. Barely dodging that thank you Tonk Tonk, makes his way all the way out. And that whole fight, bro, Pink was playing that so well. They're having a really good game, actually, this game, despite being a member down. All the members being very scrappy. They were fighting that last fight on multiple fronts, doing it again here.
Big
Kind of
movement.
Arig in the 1v2.
Big movement, understanding the Kingpin matchup, understanding that he has the time to commit his shift there off of the grab, knowing that whoever grabs first in that Kingpin 1v1 is in a bad way.
actually a
Arig with a
clutch
huge
recall.
slam.
Oh, no.
Oh, but he gets countered.
Tragic. Dude, I love
That's
the
gonna be
idea,
it.
bro. The Kingpin recalls, looks for the dunk on that gap. They almost get it to come through, not quite. So in the end,
Not quite,
are going to
but
get
the
taken
intention
out
was
there.
great. As the boys say, it would have been a clip.
Would have been a clip. Lemur trying to make a clip of his own, hits the rings. 20 seconds left on this crown. We saw it did get a
Can he
box
go 2
rest
for
through,
2?
but Annie is back down again. Lucario
Vario choosing to recall to try to
find-
engage onto this green team 1v3. I'm not sure if this is the play. He gets Q-Sync to come back in, but this might have been not the correct call here, as couldn't really do it together. You
Yeah.
could say that they weren't Q-Synced up.
Nice. And off the back of that, dude's going to lose. Oh, and Burgundy is right back in it here. Lemur procs that
Yep.
crown as he comes back in. Jeez, instantly down. Remember, they're getting the res on any of those. Starflash looking clap with the dunk, though, locks it in. And so now, basically, Burgundy versus Green with a final member of Orange that got away to the top. Lemur ships it in with the
Big
ultimate.
ult.
Big zoning. Huge ultimate by Clap to answer
Huge ult
back.
by Clap. Lemur looking for more. 3-2-Y, dangerously low HP here, playing the Abyss. It's going to be all she wrote for him, as the bomb sentences him to an early grave. Now resetting, looking to find a way back in. Annie and Lemur knowing that they're in a bad spot here. They can't allow this res to come through.
Yeah, Q-Sync like sees him, doesn't even want to give it a chance, is instantly out. Not going to try to ego that, finds a bush anywheres but here from the bush. Full jukes are
Where's he
on
go?
from the Q-Sync. Gets a good angle to the
Beautiful.
bottom. Actually a beautiful anywhere but here. That's exactly how you want to do it. Buys time, but it looks like Clap's still on the hunt. Just constantly tracking that crown on his map. And same thing with Burgundy
You
here.
can see Lemur and Annie, they're not committing to this res. I don't know if it's because they've already used the beacon, but I think it's more because they want to third party the crown if they do commit onto the crown.
Yeah, Annie looking for that phase walk angle, finds the
They want
range,
this
but-
kill. They want this crown. Beautifully played here. My Annie going through the wall, but Q-Sync is quick on that glider, gets himself out into safety.
Yeah, Q-Sync actually doing a really good job here at living, just trying to literally bait these teams into each other, which they've just effectively done. Now these guys see each other. Q-Sync's like, I don't exist, guys. Forget about me. Clap has not forgotten.
Oh, but
though.
Clap has him very much so in mind. He wants in, so does Thank You. Building the bridge to Terabithia as he wants his way in. And if you understood that reference, you're very, very old. As Clap goes in to engage onto Q-Sync, the Viridis
Big for
Fury is
Burgundy.
committed here, and that's going to be it. Lemur cleans it up, gets the crown, gets 3-2 TY back into this one, and we're all evened up.
Oh.
As it seems I spoke too soon. Caster Curse, the Viridis Fury does find. Oh, what a huge ult coming out from Lemur here. Will he be able to find any purchase? No, just takes the crown. I mean, takes the center stage here, takes space. As they commit, Clap committing the ultimate, not going to find it just yet. Annie going to get spiked, unfortunate. Really ran out of room, no more dashes left. Already committed to get himself away from that ultimate.
Yeah, and that first spike from Monster, just the downtown Viridis
Oh,
Fury
that's it.
locks it in. That is dopamine, bro. The downtown snipe.
That
on
is
Vic.
it. Yep. The
Love it.
downtown snipe is you're on cloud 9. Thank you coming in with the Tonky. Not going to be landing just yet, but forcing the shift out from Lemur. Clap going to try to find the chain. Doesn't do so. Monster committing that Viridis Fury once more. Will be able to find one hit. The Heart Piercer going to get blocked by the walls. Lemur moves using that movement orb to find a way out, but it's only going to be prolonging the inevitable as Clap comes in to clean it up.
Monster Clap, thank you on Team Dark Green. Taking game, what is this? 5?
Yeah,
I don't
Team
know, I
Green
lost
Tea.
track. Game 5, maybe? Game 6 to 5, 5 to 6?
Something like that. I don't know how to count. I'm just here to cast.
That's where I'm at, bro. But yeah, GG's Green. Lemur trying to do what he can in the end. A couple good spikes coming through for Green. Not going to be able to win that uphill battle. So they are going to get taken out, and Green come away with the victory here.
Indeed. Honorable mention to Q-Sync from the movement, keeping himself alive. Wasn't just enough, but a good showing, no doubt.
Oh,
It's
looks like
it's looking like that's going to be it.
GG's.
That's the last one.
Dude, good times. I mean,
Yeah,
we
very good
captured
times.
it, bro. Success. We have officially captured the very first trio Scrims.
We have.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's live. It's happening. We'll
Whoa.
see it in April. Stay tuned, ladies and gents. This is just the beginning. He's him.
Timothy. Love it.
Timothy himself. So,
Alright.
how do you feel, Zik? What do you think? How do you think about trios now that you've seen it in action? We've gotten just under 24 hours of trios. We've seen lots of gameplay. We've played it a little bit ourselves in the playtest. What are your first thoughts?
It's such a good question, bro, because I woke up in like sweating like in my dreams. Like, wait, like did what's happened? Like, it's trios. I like wake up to all this new intel the other morning, and like the fact that they just flat out say that they're committing to this change in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Is pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that is a big sweeping change, and the fact that they're collapsing duos and squads into a single queue.
I love that.
Yeah, and I think one of the most exciting things to think about as a SUPERVIVE player is that, like, we're gonna have a much healthier queue space. There's also gonna be less players required per team, but I think like what people aren't really seeing, that's kind of the subtle part of this change under the hood, is this is very likely the first of a couple very big preparatory changes for changes coming this summer. And so all I'm going to say is, like, whether you like it or dislike it, stay tuned, because I think we're going to see some big stuff happening through the summer from the SUPERVIVE dev team, from Theorcraft. And I'll say, bro, I kind of like it, because I didn't like duos initially for the kind of finality of it. But I do
Right.
kind of, now that I've seen some trios play out, I can definitely see how the chaos of squads can be a little too much, like a little too overwhelming. Not just for new players, bro, but for players that are trying to play at a high level competitively, or
It's a
even
lot to keep
just
track of.
someone like me, bro, who wants to play a game competitively for fun, like no aspirations of playing professionally or anything, but I just like to compete for the sake of competing, just for fun, right? But it's
Right.
like, it's such an interesting scope of changes that like fundamentally like everyone that's been playing SUPERVIVE for the last 4 years, which isn't a huge group of people, but there are people that have been playtesting for 4 years. It's been squads the whole freaking time, bro. So
has.
like I think a lot of people, especially like me that have been playing for a while, got a little like caught off guard by this change. And it's scary, right? Change is scary, especially big change is scary. But after seeing a full day of it, like getting the 2-hour playtest in earlier and then kind of witnessing these scrims, I definitely can see like an argument for the upsides. Like fights are more readable, and that's the goal. Is like when you read through the whole description they put up, like the whole intent of these changes is making fights more readable, and that should make the game in the end more competitive. Like if you can react because you can read what's happening on the screen, that should make the game more fun in the end. And if that's the end goal, and if this is what, you know, kind of moves us closer to that goal, I think it's pretty cool, man. And it's kind of too early to say, but I'm a fan so far with the small sample size we have. What do you think, man?
I like it. I'm especially excited for the queue merge, and not only the queue merge, but also having unranked and ranked be two separate queues within the same game mode, so
Yes,
that newer
true.
players
Yeah.
can hopefully find an experience that they're looking for in terms of just learning the game and experiencing it for what it is. And then players who want to compete can also seek out that experience without having to ruin the experience for newer players. But also at the same time, in a way, it also ruins the experience for the more talented players, knowing that they're going up against players who are new, that they're just
Yeah.
going to absolutely stomp. It's, you know, to me personally, I won't speak for everyone, but for me personally, I don't feel like the RP is earned per se in those situations. You know, like these are players that I should never have been up against to begin with, and it's not fair to them. It ruins their experience, and in a way, it ruins mine. So I'm really excited for those queues to be merged and also split in their own specific way.
Yeah, and it should
I
be
think from
like it should result
yeah,
in healthier queues, right? Like to your point, it's
yeah,
like
even faster queue times.
yeah,
Too, I
faster
would
queues
imagine.
and like less players needed per team. And even though and actually less per lobby, right? If we're running 12
Yeah,
with 3, that's 36 instead of 40. So actually going to have, you know, more lobbies popping in the end. And you know, like my point earlier is I expect this change to be coming with a series of changes following it over the next few months, leading into what is potentially going to be a big summer for SUPERVIVE. And so all I'll say is like, buckle up, baby. Let's
yeah,
go. It's
absolutely.
gonna be a spicy couple months here, boys.
Development, I think, is going to ramp. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where we go. I think threes, trios is the future. I think the game does feel better. There's more clarity. There's more understanding of what cooldowns are used when and when you should be using yours. And also just introducing that element of more third party, more fourth party, I think is healthier. It makes the game feel more like a true BR when there is a more constant threat of that third party,
Mm,
despite how awful it feels when it happens to you.
fair, yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's healthy for the game, and it promotes the same atmosphere of this isn't a MOBA. You're not fighting down a lane. This is a BR,
Right.
and that third team is about to come take your lunch money. So get ready.
That's like, yeah, there's always a jungle, but there's not just one jungle. There's now 11
There's
other
three.
jungles.
Yeah, there's 3 junglers per jungle team, and they're all coming to steal your camp.
But yeah, I completely agree, bro. Love the kind
Yeah,
of synopsis.
good
there.
direction and good games tonight. Good games from everyone. Very fun. Obviously, a couple of unserious drops there on the train and whatnot. But you know, we love to see it. We love to see the boys having fun, flexing their muscles, jumping from team to team, and still showing that they can perform. A couple of highlight performances tonight. I really like the way Clap was moving and RTK buying space for his team to come back in. Obviously, I don't even need to mention 420's name, flying over the abyss, constantly
Yeah,
finding his
420,
spikes
that
that
monster.
he
dude.
needs. You know, dealing with just honestly, we didn't really call out his name too much for just like any like really crazy plays, but I really liked his consistency and how he was just constantly frontlining for his team, keeping them in the game. And then Immense, I love seeing him on the Krista
Yeah, Immense
doing
did
some
work.
immense damage. And then Shriko always, you know, Pine doing what Pine does best, sniping. And then we love to see Spade back on the Jewel,
Dude, the
on the
Spade
nerfed Jewel, no
let's
doubt.
go. That actually made me so
Incredible.
happy, bro.
That
To
1v2 off of the island in Academy,
dude,
tasty stuff.
legit brought me back to like my very first kind of like casting of SUPERVIVE because he was just going off on Jewel when I started. But yeah, dude, love it. Hell yeah. Well, thank
it.
you so much for joining me, Kai. For anyone that wants to find you,
Thank you for having me.
dude, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. You're great casting. I thought you did fantastic. And where can people find you if they're looking to?
Well, you can find me on Twitch here at Kai Ames. I am Kai #Ames in game if you ever want to link up and trade blows. Otherwise, I'm also on Twitter under Kai at Ames. And although I'm not very active on there, but that is a Twitter handle that I do have. But otherwise, you know, I'm in Discord. You can find me there if you guys ever need some casting. You know where I'm at. Zick.
Hell yeah.
Super happy to be here.
Loved having you, man.
Fantastic company.
Yeah. it
Love
was-
hearing the way you work. Love working together. Let's do it again sometime.
Definitely, man. We will definitely be back at it soon. And for everyone watching, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully, we'll see if they leave trios on. We might end up seeing more trios scrims action. Kind
yeah.
of TBD on that. But regardless, we are going to be capturing some more scrims over the next couple of weeks as we roll into the trio setup. So everyone that tuned in, thank you so much for watching. For everyone watching on YouTube, we will see you in the next one. And GG's.
GG's.